your team. The heart of LA, Valley Sports West. The heart of the fan. When Shohei Ohtani is on the field, we are all kids again. Some nights we get to stay up late for the chance to see our favorite player do something unforgettable.
Breaking ball, swung on and missed. Ohtani, deep and high and gone. Oh, where did that go?
Some days we can skip school to watch the MVP make more history.
Deep and high and gone and 45.
So tell mom and dad that the Angels are about to play, because with Shohei Ohtani pulling double duty, you won't want to wait until tomorrow to hear what he did.
Are you ready to go? It is Shohei Day here at the Big A. Beautiful Southern California afternoon. Yeah, we got some clouds, but the sun is going to come out. Everybody's got to stand up. We are fired up to be here because it is the Mariners. It is the Angels. The final game of this series, and yes, the final home game of 2021. Shohei goes for number 10 on the hill this afternoon. Angels mania. Yeah, we're going to look back at what Shohei did all season long, and they're going to put the pressure on the M's, trying to get themselves into the wild card. Angels and Shohei looking to play. Spoiler, it's going to be a lot of fun. It all starts right here, right now on Angels Live. Welcome to the program, everyone. Ken French. That is Mark Gubaza. Can you feel the excitement? I've been trying to get these fans fired up for the last 20 minutes, and no one's listened to me.
Did you say something?
Hopefully you're listening to me at home, because I'm ready to go. Are you?
I can't hear anymore, but I am listening.
I am so fired up right now because, yes, it's the last home game of 2021, but what better way to put an exclamation point on the home run than have Shohei on the hill in front of these fans on fan appreciation. And by the way, thank you to the fans. It is a reason that we get to do what we do every day. The players get to do what they do because of all your support. I cannot wait to see what happens on the hill this afternoon.
Yeah, you know, Frenchie, I'm even walking out here today to seeing the excitement level for Shohei Ohtani taking the mound. He has a chance to pick up his 10th W. He also has a chance potentially to be able to pick up his 25th stolen base, his 100th run score, maybe get 100 RBIs in this season, and 150 strikeouts. I mean, it's unbelievable what we may see here today, and the fans are so excited to be able to see Shohei Ohtani on the mound and also hitting second in the lineup.
He has been unhittable here at the Big A. 12 starts at Angels Stadium, 6-0 with a 2.02 ERA. That's one of the best in baseball.
I mean, it's phenomenal what he's doing. And throughout his entire career, he's 8-1 with a 2.25 ERA at the Big A. So the comfort zone from warming up in the bullpen with the fans there behind him, getting ready to walking on to the mound and go out there and dominate. It's been unbelievable. We talk about a certain word when we think about Shohei Ohtani now, creativity. He'll throw his slider sometimes. He'll throw his cutter. Last game out, he threw a ton of splitters, 55 of them. Got a bunch of punch-outs with his splitter. Fastball still can rush it up there. 92 to 99, touch 100 miles an hour, and he's thrown a lot of strikes. Just 9 walks in his last 10 starts. When you put that in perspective, he has 13 walks in his last 4 games at the plate. It's been incredible.
Yeah, it is. He's coming off a 8-inning performance against the A's, tying a career high. But look at the lowest home ERAs for your Halos. Nolan Ryan at 107. I mean, these are the all-time greats to ever wear an Angel uniform.
And when you think about all the great pitchers that ever put on an Angel uniform, those 4 guys, and then you have Shohei Ohtani from Weave to Nolan, Finn, Frank Tanana, all outstanding arms on the mound here at the Big A, and Shohei Ohtani in that same breath.
Yeah, we talked about lowest home ERA. Yeah, 2.02 I mentioned. That's second to only Max Scherzer. I mean, he's in some serious company what he's doing.
Anytime you're in the same conversation as Max Scherzer on the mound, that's incredible. Then he's in that same conversation as far as Vlad Jr. and Salvador Perez as far as home runs in baseball. It's phenomenal to see. I just want to see at least 4 more strikeouts for Shohei. Give him 150-plus strikeouts on the season, which is phenomenal on the mound.
Let's get it done. Let's get number 10 here this afternoon.
Yes.
You know what? I'm fired up. Rich Waltz is here. Rich, you there?
Hey, how are you doing, buddy?
I am fired up. I am glad you're here because you know what? Shohei on the hill. But as you've been keeping an eye on, heading into last night, 11 walks in 3 games. But there's a reason for that, Rich, because when you give Shohei a chance to hit, he will make you pay.
I'll tell you the reason. And it was really fun for me about 10 minutes ago to watch when Shohei walked out to the bullpen. Because as you guys just saw, there's a huge crowd out there to watch him warm up. And there's a good-sized crowd coming to the game today, and a lot of them are here early. Chants of MVP, MVP, MVP. It's fun to see, and you would expect a lot of those chants here. That's the reason they're not pitching to him. And look, the Angels lineup with all the injuries and absences, they don't have a lot of protection behind him. But the Mariners did pitch to him last night. They figured lefty on lefty, probably not a good choice because his 2 triples last night, yeah, I know he overshot the runway on that slide, but he went the same spot, back-to-back. He's tied for the American League in triples now, by the way. Add that Gooby to the checklist. I don't know if the Mariners are going to pitch to him today, but I think we all kind of expected this with Seattle in the race. And we talked about, okay, can he get to 50? And this series was problematic because obviously the Mariners are in the race. They're probably not going to pitch to him. They did last night. Not sure what's going to happen today. I hope that when he gets to Texas, obviously Texas is a long way from the race, that Texas does pitch to him, and you never know. On the weekend series in Seattle, the Mariners may be eliminated by then. Maybe he will get pitched to in that time. And 17 intentional walks. That leads the American League. Add that to the checklist, Gooby.
Unbelievable.
And he's a pitcher, too, right?
That's right.
Oh, okay, just checking.
Hey, did you guys put up Max Scherzer's batting stats yet?
Yeah. What about Vladdy Jr.'s batting or pitching stats?
Yes.
Right?
That's the way it works, man.
Absolutely. Yes. Hey, Rich, thanks so much. Good to have you here. We look forward to the call this afternoon. Have fun, huh?
Oh, it's going to be a great day.
Let's do it. 98 RBI, 99 run score. Let's get to the century mark on all the categories. As Rich mentioned, let's get to number 46. But let's switch gears here for a guy, another all-star. Let's talk about Jared Walsh. And Gooby, we know what he can do against right-handed pitching. We know what he hasn't been able to do against left-handed pitching, but throw that out the window last night. He hit everything, everywhere for hits.
Yeah, French, I love the fact that he's had a number of games against left-handed pitching where he's hit the ball on the ground. But he lifted every one of those swings last night and hit all of them hard, going 4 for 5 with 4 RBIs. He has 59 extra base hits on the season, 90 RBIs to go along with 27 home runs. He stayed back. He was looking to lift the ball, which you want to try to do, especially a couple of those scenarios where Seattle was thinking, okay, ground ball, double play. For a guy that's hit ground balls for 13 straight games for an out, but he went out, swung the bat well, lifted the ball in the air, hit it to all fields, and I thought he had a chance to get this one out to dead center field. They played it well off the wall, but great swings throughout for Walsh. And it's great to see him because he's been outstanding at first base. You see him back, lining the ball up the middle, going left center, pulling the ball, and staying back on the baseball and lifting in the air was outstanding.
And you love to see this, too, heading into the offseason with 7 games to go because that gives him that confidence. We know he can hit right-handed pitching, but to have been able to have the success against lefties, that's just going to create a better start in 2022. You know, we got a great start going on right now.
Yes. Are you ready for segment 2 coming up?
Are we ready? Let's go. It is Shohei Day from the Big A, ladies and gentlemen. We're just getting started. The fans are out. The phones are out. Oh, my gosh. Ohtani Mania is alive and well.
Hey, Pedro, what was it like when you won your first Cy Young Award?
Well, I was...
What about when you won the pitching Triple Crown?
Well,
How did you feel when you won a World Series?
I was,
What's it like to be an 8-time All-Star?
The analyst of MLB Tonight, answering baseball's toughest questions.
Hey, Harold, how do you prepare for a big show?
Well, I just try to stay positive. Take it one show at a time and treat it just like any other show.
How do you feel about the other analysts you work with?
It's a great group of guys. We're all on the same page. I'm just happy to be here.
What's your prediction for the season?
We'll see what happens. It all comes down to execution in the studio.
The pro player answers. He's still got it.
The analyst of MLB Tonight, answering baseball's toughest questions on MLB Network.
because they're all inside as we welcome you back to Angels Live in Valley Sports. Angels baseball presented by your Southern California Cadillac dealers. You know what that crowd tells me? It tells me it's Shohei Day.
It's Shohei. Going for number 10.
Going for 10 on the hill. Going for homer 46. Let's get it done here this afternoon. Bringing in Jose Mota, who's in the middle of it all at the Big A. Jose, we're going to shift gears for a moment and talk about a guy, Brandon Marsh, who once again is leading off for the Halos. But he has been so exciting to watch. He's showing all of his talents. And last night they were all on display. And we're going to start with the defense in center field.
Who does not love defense, especially when you have the flow of that hair going, you got the beard going, and you have ability and you have instincts. I think overall we're seeing a kid that even though he has not played a whole lot, above Double-A, he has a knack for finding the baseball and having a good idea as to where he needs to be, timing his jumps, knowing where the track is. And remember, every ballpark has a different track. He has become a master at knowing where the track is and how many steps he has here at the Big A before hitting that padding. Let's go to the 7th inning in what could be a very confusing one here. He's got the right fielder peeling in front of him. He's the backtracker here and never loses track of the baseball. Outstanding concentration, athletic ability, and pretty much a little throwback there on the way he caught that baseball. You don't see a whole lot of outfielders nowadays catch a baseball that low, especially when there's a little confusion. You usually see a young outfielder take his eyes off the baseball to see where the guy in front of it is, but you can see that this guy plays like he's been out there for 5-6 years.
Yeah, showing he can play a little wide receiver too. He played that a lot in high school, so definitely an incredible athlete in the field. But you know what? We're going to transition to what he's been doing at the plate. And after the game last night, he talked about his comfort at leading off.
I've been hitting leadoff for basically my whole minor league career and going back all the way to high school. So I'm very comfortable in that spot, in that position, and I really enjoy it. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. Wherever I get put, I'm just going to try to play my part and play my role and just go from there.
Jose, I know we like Fletch at the top of the lineup, but Marsh has got an interesting combination there. We saw 315. He's hitting over his last 39 games. He can hit for average, for power, and he's got tremendous speed. He really fits that mold of a leadoff hitter.
He does in many ways, and one of them is that as a young hitter, he has an idea not to be in a hurry. It's not one of those things where you go out there and say, my God, this guy always pipes in fastballs first pitch. I'm going to go out there and swim because I want to get out. I want to get a base hit. He times people right. He goes the other way against lefties because he stays inside the baseball. This is what I'm talking about, not being in a hurry. If he is in a hurry in any of these pitches, perhaps he does not find these holes because the swing and the path is not all the same. So, yeah, we like Fletch at the top, but right now, obviously, the numbers for Fletch are better at the bottom. So Joe Madden is doing the right thing. Plus, in a year like this, Frenchie, go out there and find out all the options you have against and four guys that you don't know a whole lot about, especially at this level. Got like Marsh, Adele, and company.
Yeah, Jose, Brandon Marsh, though, he's showing some patience at the plate, too. It's beneficial for the guys in the on-deck circle and the dugout, seeing all their out pitches during the course of it. And he's very good as far as controlling the strike zone and utilizing the entire field.
Oh, that is very valid. Gooby, coming from you as a former pitcher, understanding that these guys at times can frustrate you, especially a young pitcher and a young hitter going, this guy just got to the league. Why is he not swinging at that? And that creates a lot of frustration. At the same time, as you say, it's educating the guy standing right here in the on-deck circle to see a little tilt, velocity, spin, and everything that comes about that you got to go out there and apply later in a batter's box.
All right, we're going to transition to a guy named Shohei.
Who?
And you know what we talked? I know. Believe it or not,
I just saw him. Hey, I swear I just saw him.
Jose, Rich was talking about it earlier about the MVP chance. The buzz has got to be incredible down the field right now, and especially if he can hit number 46 here today.
Tell you one thing. You talk about passing people and just running and ramming everybody over. Shohei Ohtani at home, unbelievable. First home run here came April 2nd. There's a lot of mystery, intrigue. How's he going to respond after superb spring training? Well, there it is. He had his first one, actually, convincing a lot of people that he could hit a fastball again because his feet were established, Gooby. Liam Hendricks, 96-97, wasted no time, and from there on, he has not stopped.
It's incredible, his routine, the focus you must have as far as getting ready on the mound, yet you still got to prepare to face a very good pitcher in Marco Gonzales today. Jose, are you just baffled like me, thinking how are you able to have that focus both sides of the game?
Gooby, focus, stamina, concentration, and even separation of things. Remember that every inning has not been good for Shohei Ohtani, on the mound, but he's able to take that off, put the other helmet on, and say, now I'm going to be a hitter. But Gooby, I mean, his awareness, and also be aware. He's very relaxed, Gooby. How do you teach that to a young player? For a guy who's been facing pressure since he was in high school, it's pretty amazing. And by the way, he's the coolest Japanese teacher there is, too.
Yeah. By the way, I can't be under control here with him right here. Jose, I need some help here. Frenchie's out of control here today.
What? You guys are the coolest. Let's get it done today. Oh, my goodness. Hey, friends, it's time for you guys to go, but thanks for joining me. Really appreciate it. Have a great call. Feel the excitement at the Big A. Good job, Jose. Hey, Gooby, see ya. On the other day, hey, we look back at Ohtani Mania from the Big A.
Weekdays, take a pregame trip around the league. See batting practice, fielding drills, player interviews, and expert analysis.
He gets it there, and then from here he goes, bam!
Get exclusive access only on The Rundown. Weekdays, only on MLB Network.
Hey, Al, I'm just wondering, during the demo on MLB Tonight, what was that meatball you threw?
Meatball? I think you're misunderstanding. That was a hitting demonstration, and that's what I was supposed to do.
Oh, he go home, baby.
Right. I think that ball's still traveling. Any farther, and you need a flight plan for it.
Next question.
The analyst of MLB Tonight, answering baseball's toughest questions, only on MLB Network.
How the Angels got here with all the moves they made. They haven't.
Meet Justin Upton. He's watching MLB Network.
Again, the lineup got deeper.
Because that's what baseball fans do.
They're deep. They're deep.
I love the Boys and Girls Clubs because they help you believe that you can make it to the big leagues.
Big leagues of what? Law. Art? Construction? Baseball?
How'd you guess?
For 25 years, Major League Baseball has partnered with the Boys and Girls Clubs of America to help kids make it to the big leagues of anything.
Set to take to the hill this afternoon as you're looking back to Angels Live on Valley Sports. Angels Baseball presented by your Southern California Cadillac dealers. Hey, this year has been a year we've never seen before, may never see again because of Shohei. And now we take a look back at Ohtani Mania as we continue to celebrate 60 years of Angels baseball.
In 60 seasons of Angels baseball, fans at the Big A have cheered on some of the greatest players in the history of the sport, witnessing some of the best ever to swing the lumber or to command the mound. Not since Babe Ruth has a team's fan base been able to enjoy both in a single player until now.
Hi, my name is Shohei Ohtani.
In 2017, Shohei Ohtani, the Japanese-born baseball phenom, announced his intentions of leaving the Nippon Professional Baseball League to join Major League Baseball. Multiple teams clamored to sign the future two-way superstar, intrigued by his 102 miles per hour fastball and his ability to crack 500-foot home runs. But of course, there was only one team that prevailed. Much to the delight of Halo faithful everywhere, Shohei agreed to sign with the Angels before the start of the 2018 season. Ohtani Mania instantly engulfed the Angels as fans came out in force to support their newest sensation. And Shohei did not disappoint.
Swing and a miss, down goes Simeon, one down. Swing and a miss, down goes Olsen, a 1-2-3 first in his big league debut on the mound.
Remember we talked about once the bright lights would shine? Well, as soon as that smile was on his face as he walked by us on the way out to the bullpen, you felt something special was going to happen, and it was definitely special today.
After notching his first win as a pitcher, Shohei belted his first career home run 2 days later.
That's out toward right center field. At the wall, gone! Big fly, Ohtani-san!
That is awesome.
There was a tremendous anticipation as to what he was going to do, how he was going to react to, how the fans were reacting to him after getting introduced in the batter's box. And then you saw the calmness, and before you know it, it was all a matter of timing, getting more comfortable, and scoring a baseball. It was a beautiful moonshot.
Shohei, what a special night. A 3-run home run, a 3-hit game. Describe what that moment was like to get your first big league home run here at the Big A and to share it with all these Angel fans. Congratulations once again on an unbelievable debut here at the Big A and your first big league home run.
Thank you.
And with that, the comparisons to Babe Ruth soon began, as the Babe was an early version of the two-way player.
This guy can not only dominate on one side at the plate, but now he's completely dominating on the other, and you just got to scratch your head and kind of go, okay, what league are we playing in here? Where does that happen?
Right. But unlike Shohei, Ruth began his career as a pitcher, but preferred hitting, so he made the transition to playing the outfield. Shohei, on the other hand, wanted to do it all. And in the first month of the 2018 season, he did just that, earning April's American League Player of the Month award.
He is out there pitching like he's been around the big leagues for 10 or 12 years. I mean, like a dominating type pitcher and going out there and just electrifying every single moment here. Absolutely amazing.
Unfortunately, an elbow injury in June took Shohei out of the Angels' rotation for the majority of the 2018 season. But the dominating uniqueness of his two-way talent was clear. And by season's end, Shohei Ohtani was named 2018's MLB Rookie of the Year.
What does an award like this mean to you?
Accomplishing something this special in my first year means a whole lot to me. Especially, I think it means a whole lot for people that's been supporting me this whole time, so I'm really grateful.
After witnessing Shohei's extraordinary talents at the plate and on the mound that season, Angel great and fellow Rookie of the Year award winner Tim Salmon declared, "This is a very special time right now for the Angels."
He's done it again. Big fly, Ohtani-san. Swing and a miss. Make that 10 strikeouts on the afternoon.
Very special indeed.
And the next chapter will be written this afternoon at the Big A as Shohei takes the hill. Hey, catch the latest Angels Weekly airing all week long or visit BadleySports.com to see more. Hey, one more time out. When we do come back, we're going to get you ready for the first pitch on Shohei Day from the Big A.
Carlos, where did your signature term placata come from?
Placata is just an expression my brothers and I used when we were kids. It means good, solid contact, usually resulting in a home run.
Placata! The analyst of MLB Tonight, answering baseball's toughest questions.
A, fans can redeem free medium fries with a $1 minimum purchase at participating SoCal McDonald's. Download and register on the McDonald's app. Let's get in that fry column once again. Put your hands up for fries. And have a little ice cream on the side. Hey, Shohei Ohtani is on the hill. The last home game of 2021. Why not have the superstar for the Halos, a superstar from Major League Baseball, on the hill? He has been unhittable here at the Big A. 12 starts this season. How about 6-0 with a 2.02 ERA? That's second best home record in all of baseball, only second to Max Scherzer. As we welcome you back outside the Big A, underneath the hats. Kent French with you. And as this regular season winds down, the playoff race continues to heat up, and the Angels still have a chance to cause a little havoc in that wild AL wild card race. Yes, this is really heating up to be something special here in the last week and a half of the season. Look at this. At the top, Boston, New York, they are deadlocked. New York has taken 2 so far. Can they go for the sweep here tonight? They've won 5 in a row. Toronto still knocking on that door. Halos trying to keep Seattle out. 3 games back right now. They might even fall farther behind as see those Toronto Blue Jays up on Minnesota. And we can't wait for that New York-Boston game a little bit later on tonight. And you know what? The playoffs were to end today. Let's take a look at the brackets. This is a lot of fun. Can you imagine a 1-game playoff? Yankees, Boston trying to get into the World Series. Of course, Tampa Bay's already clinched. And look at the NL side. Those St. Louis Cardinals, 15-game winning streak, the hottest team in all of baseball. Nobody wants to face that team, especially the LA Dodgers, who rather get in and win the NL West. But you know what? All eyes are on today. All eyes are on the Big A, because Shohei Ohtani taken to the hill for the last time at Angel Stadium in 2021. Hey, it is Shohei Day at the Big A. That scares me. Gooby. So long.
My new Better Than Ever Cluck sandwich with a bigger, crispier, juicier filet, bigger pickles, more
Hey, Uncle Dan.
Zach, go ahead.
So, what's your approach after a bad show?
A bad show? You think I had a bad show?
Well, you flubbed 2 lines in the intro segment. How did you feel about that?
How did I feel? Next question.
Okay. What was on your mind when?
What was on my mind? Boy, I hope my nephew Zach doesn't ask any dumb questions.
The analyst of MLB Tonight, answering baseball's toughest questions. Only on MLB Network.
How the Angels got here with all the moves they made. They have
Meet Justin Upton. He's watching MLB Network.
Again, the lineup got deeper.
Because that's what baseball fans do.
They're deep.
Carlos, where did your signature term placata come from?
Placata is just an expression my brothers and I used when we were kids. It means good, solid contact, usually resulting in a home run.
The analyst of MLB Tonight, answering baseball's toughest questions.
I love the Boys and Girls Clubs because they help you believe that you can make it to the big leagues.
Big leagues of what? Law. Art? Construction? Baseball?
How'd you guess?
For 25 years, Major League Baseball has partnered with the Boys and Girls Clubs of America to help kids make it to the big leagues of anything.
The heart of LA, Valley Sports West. The heart of the fan. When Shohei Ohtani is on the field, we are all kids again. Some nights we get to stay up late for the chance to see our favorite player do something unforgettable.
Breaking ball, swung on and missed. Ohtani, deep and high and gone! Oh, where did that go?
Some days we can skip school to watch the MVP make more history.
Deep and high and gone and 45!
So tell mom and dad that the Angels are about to play, because with Shohei Ohtani pulling double duty, you won't want to wait until tomorrow to hear what he did.
Chants of MVP have already started, as they should. Last home game, last chance to see Shohei Ohtani on the mound at the Big A in 2021. Mariners and Angels wrapping up this series. There he is, big crowd out by the bullpen, and certainly a buzz in this ballpark. Hi, everybody. I'm Rich Waltz, along with Mark Kubaza. Jose Mota will join us shortly. This man, that mound, this ballpark, these fans, there is something special when Shohei pitches here.
Yeah, Rich, the comfort zone from going right from the bullpen to the game mound this season has been outstanding. 6-0 record, 2.02 ERA. When you talk about the immortals as far as pitching in a Halo uniform, Nolan Ryan, Chuck Finley, Frank Tanana, Jared Weaver, all outstanding numbers at home, and Shohei Ohtani right with them as far as the all-time greats. Take a look at our Verizon player profile with Shohei Ohtani. As far as overall home ERA, only Max Scherzer better. Anytime you're in that same conversation with Max Scherzer, you're doing something well. Max Scherzer with a 1.90, but Shohei just behind him with a 2.02 at home. He has been outstanding in his career at the Big A, 8-1 with 2.25 ERA.
But I noticed there were no hitting numbers or home run numbers for Max Scherzer on that note, because in this ballpark, it's not just when he's on the mound. Jose Mota, when he's at the plate in this ballpark, special things happen.
Hey, they do. And you know why? Because he has turned this ballpark, which presumably at one point was like not a hitter's ballpark, into a slugging ballpark. And by the way, here the first home run here this season under much intrigue and mystery as to how about spring training? Can he follow up? Yes. Go back to April 2nd against Liam Hendricks and the White Sox. He hit that one and he has not stopped. 25 here at home, Rich. Since that one, it's been pole to pole in the gaps. Uchukan, as they say in Japan. So Chukan, right center field, left center field, doesn't matter. Lefties, righties, day, night. It's been pretty much just a pounding of baseball everywhere. And at Mota Island, Rich, oh my goodness, have I been spoiled all season long. Now, for Shohei Ohtani, lefties don't matter either because 17 home runs. Marco Gonzales will face him here today. I cannot wait. I do not want to miss any swing, any pitch. And by the way, will they swing in that batter's box where he's going to see some pitches today? Yes or no?
Yeah, I mean, I think he'll get a few pitches to swing at today, but I'll tell you what, it's going to be tough for them to be able to hit him today.
Today, Shohei Ohtani on the mound. Final home game, 2021. He takes aim at the Mariners.
How the Angels got here with all the moves they made. They have
Meet Justin Upton. He's watching MLB Network.
Again, the lineup got deeper.
Because that's what baseball fans do.
They're deep. They're deep.
I love the Boys and Girls Clubs because they help you believe that you can make it to the big leagues.
Big leagues of what? Law. Art. Construction. Baseball.
How'd you guess?
For 25 years, Major League Baseball has partnered with the Boys and Girls Clubs of America to help kids make it to the big leagues of anything.
MVP is in the house. Shohei Ohtani on his way to the mound. Angels and Mariners. Final game, a glorious Sunday here at the Big A.
And my go-tos for Shohei Ohtani to continue how well he has thrown this season, especially on this mound, is get creative with his splitter and his slider. We've seen that over the last 10 or 11 starts. Fastball success on the lower 30s to be able to get deeper in the ball games by using his fastball and cut fastball to get some quick ground ball outs.
And he's pitching against a lineup that is hot. The Seattle Mariners have made a nice run to stay in the race. J.P. Crawford is at shortstop. Ty France at first base. Kyle Seager having an outstanding season at third. So is Mitch Haniger. And Haniger is a noted Angel killer. He's the designated hitter. Abraham Toro's at second base. Jake Fraley in left. Jared Kelnick in center. Tom Murphy behind the plate. And another Jake Bowers, is in right field. Last night, the Angels waxed the Mariners 14-1. Mariners won a tight one on Friday. This would be game 3. Crawford in the box. Fastball misses out. Shohei Ohtani. Mark Gubaza, it's hard to tell what the mix is going to be because it seems to change every game.
And it's so odd to see him throw the first pitch of the game, a splitter, the first pitch. He threw a lot of them last time out. First pitch, splitter.
That's a strike at the knees. Ramon De Jesus is the home plate umpire. Chris Guccione, Mark Wegner, and Alan Porter on the bases. Crawford pulls that one foul.
Let's take a look at our Mercury. Smart splitting with a pitch. 57 thrown, 40 strikes. He had 18 swing and misses with a splitter. Hits 0 and 19 at bats with 9 strikeouts. Boy, that Mercury Insurance smart splitter was outstanding last time out. A pitch he hasn't really used a lot of lately, but last time out, outstanding.
That's one of the largest volume of splitters in recent time in Major League Baseball. That many splitters in a game. With a grip that he had been toying with, that tweaked a bit. Of course, he's been throwing that splitter almost his entire life.
And he's thrown quite a few of them already in his first at bat against J.B. Crawford, who's had great swings against the Angels the entire year.
2-2. That's off his foot. Crawford is a guy that is really starting to grow as a player. A Gold Glove shortstop, the offense is starting to follow. This is really the first kind of a breakout year offensively for him.
Yeah, and he's using the whole field very well. A couple hits already. Left center, he's hit and squared up consistently. It's a big at bat already for Shohei, trying to keep him off the bases. They've been effective early against Halo pitching first few games with him leading off.
It's amazing he's not faced Seattle a lot in his career. It's only his third career start against them. And that one lined foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That loss last night snapped a 6-game win streak for Seattle. They sit at 85 and 70 as they try to chase down not only the Blue Jays, but anybody that wants to drop out of that wild card spot, Yankees or Red Sox.
It's a good little battle here. We saw this a couple times already in the series for Crawford, where he's worked some pitches in the count. He's seen already 2 four-seam fastballs, 5 splitters. Fastball for Shohei, which usually you see around 92, 93 early, 96, 98 with a splitter already a big force for Ohtani.
Postseason elimination number is at 5 for Seattle, so they are desperate for a win here. And Ohtani misses down low. Count runs full at 3-2.
That's an impressive take. That was a nasty split. That went straight down.
Ty France, Kyle Seager also scheduled to appear for the Mariners here in the first.
But if you're Seattle, you're loving this at bat for Crawford, whether he gets on or not. He's forcing a pitch count up. His next pitch will be number 10 of the at bat.
Last start, a season high 10 strikeouts for Ohtani. 2 earned runs, 2 solo home runs, got a no decision in a loss to Oakland. That is scorched into right. That's a high level at bat for Crawford to start this ball game.
Not only to see that many pitches and work a count like he did, gets a fastball 93 and gets that one, hits it hard to right field for a hit. 22nd hit this season against the Angels in 58 at bats. It's over 370.
Now Ty France, there's a lot of home runs in this lineup. It's one of the ways that the Mariners have been able to stay over 500 by hitting home runs at the right time, because they have a run differential, a really negative one, 65 fewer runs than their opponents. And so for them to be sitting here at 15 over with a week left to go is almost a baseball anomaly.
Interesting. Shohei first pitch splitter. Now a first pitch to France, a slider.
Crawford from first, Ohtani to the plate. That's foul back. It's 0-2. We talk so much about balancing hitting and pitching, and last night Seattle pitched to Ohtani and he had 2 triples. But here he is, a day game after a night game, which makes the turnaround even tougher.
Shohei would like that ground ball. He's been getting a lot of them, having a ground ball for a double play to get 2 outs after a long at bat by Crawford.
France has 18 home runs. You got Seager and Haniger due up next. Not a big lead by Crawford. Pitch comes in, and it's 2-2. Certainly the pitch count something to look at early. You pointed out the Crawford at bat and how that might play into this game. Ohtani threw 108 pitches in the 10 strikeout game last Sunday. Crawford bluffs, and France takes outside, and back to another full count.
Will Seattle be willing to take the chance here with a pitcher on the mound like Shohei Ohtani, who gets a lot of strikeouts, to have him go 3-2?
Crawford runs. France in the air to right. Lagares after it. There. On the track, makes the catch. And Crawford retreats. Lagares in right in this ball game. The rest of the defense, Phil Goslin, Brandon Marsh joining Lagares in the outfield. Jack Mayfield, Jared Walsh on the corners, Brent Hifo and Fletcher up the middle.
And I always believe the defense begins and starts with the pitcher on the mound. And Shohei Ohtani is so good as far as shutting down an opponent's running game. There's 2 stolen bases in 4 attempts, but he fields his position as well as anybody in all of baseball. As soon as you release that baseball, he becomes the 5th infielder.
Kyle Seager now, longtime Mariner.
And always aggressive, just like his brother on a first pitch. First fastball that Shohei has thrown on the first pitch. And the numbers are pretty good for hitters against Shohei first pitch. 365, 5 home runs, a slugging percentage of .731 on the first pitch put in play against Shohei.
Infield playing Seager to pull. Ball on a strike. For Seager to have a terrific year this year, has to feel good. There was speculation early in this season that the Mariners, I guess to put it lightly, weren't really interested in having him back. But Seager, to his credit, has walloped 35 home runs, sits at 100 driven in, pulls one wide of Walsh and down the line. And if he can deliver the Mariners to the postseason, what a great part of his legacy, which is a really good one as a Mariner that would be, because Seattle hasn't been to the postseason since 2001. It's the longest drought in North American professional sports. Next closest, the Sacramento Kings, 15 years without a postseason. Ohtani, 98, dials it up, and down goes Seager.
Yeah, for a very good fastball hitter, and Kyle Seager maybe thinking he was going to get a split, got the express. 98. Speaking of the express, we were talking about that as far as home ERAs, and Nolan Ryan, 1.07 in a season here at the Big A.
If you want to go back in history, Angels history, Ohtani is rewriting a lot of those records as well. Here's Haniger, dangerous hitter, had a big double in Friday night's win. This is career game 35 as a pitcher for Ohtani. He has 213 strikeouts. That's the fastest any Angel has arrived at that number in that number of starts or appearances.
Well, he's amped up with his fastball early on. Touching 98, 97, 96.
We've seen him do that, but it's normally near the end of his start. When he knows he's coming out, he has a tendency to dial it up. He has hit 100 11 times this year. That looked like it clipped the barrel, or rather the knob of the bat.
As you can hear the sound, it was either that or it was going to be a hit by pitch. They're looking to make sure that wasn't a hit by pitch.
That is reviewable. Foul tips are not reviewable. Hit by pitch is. And
that's a knob of the bat, it looks like.
It is. While you're reviewing for the hit by pitch, you see that it is a foul tip, which to me it makes that whole debate what you can and can't look at.
And if you're Haniger, you're happy to hit that. You don't want to. You want to be on base, but that's not one you want to be on, especially with the velocity already early for Shohei.
Haniger at 35 home runs. Crawford at first. Check swing.
Wow, that's a good pitch, too.
He went. Ohtani gets the punch out. Haniger goes down. A pair of strikeouts for Ohtani in the first.
Nerds. Oh, thanks. So I can.
No, I got it.
Sweet unholy cobalt. Is Brad's car better than mine? Better sign-up bonus? Better travel perks? Is that how Brad took that trip to Barcelona? Wait, Barcelona? Barcelona?
Steve, I got it on NerdWallet.
Ah. You said all that out loud.
Want a better credit card? We've got you. From the best rates to the best rewards, for all your credit card questions, turn to the nerds.
You spend 1/3 of your life in bed. That's why at Bull & Branch, we hold ourselves to a higher standard. Our bedding is 100% organic, toxin-free, and fair trade certified. It makes a difference you'll feel and offers a better way to live in this world. Start with our best-selling signature sheets made to get softer with every wash. Visit bowlandbranch.com.
Ohtani got the pad on. Brandon Marsh pops out of the dugout. He will lead things off for the Angels. Marsh in center. Ohtani. Phil Goslin is slotted third. Jack Mayfield's in the cleanup spot. Jared Walsh at first base hitting fifth. Kurt Suzuki getting the start. Juan Lagares seventh. Rengifo and Fletcher in the 8-9 spots. And facing a really good and a really hot lefty in Marco Gonzales.
Somebody who's thrown the ball very, very well throughout his career against the Angels. My go-tos to have success against him, though, this afternoon and get some support for Shohei Ohtani is the other way approach on his changeup. He throws that changeup a lot away. You got to punch it to right, to center, and power his fastball in the warm weather to carry here today. He's given up 28 home runs overall, 22 versus righties, 6 versus left-handed batters.
Marsh takes the strike. Good series. Great night last night. 4 for 9 total on the series. A double. He scored 5 runs. Oh, 2.
That's 64% of the time Gonzales will throw some sort of fastball, whether it's a cut fastball, sinker, four-seam fastball, changeup. Likes to throw that one a lot. Same thing with his curveball.
Up the middle, into center, base hit. Marsh is aboard, and that sets the stage for Shohei. One of the reasons Joe Madden likes him in the 2 spot with Marsh in front is that Marsh right now is getting on base. Otherwise, you might see Ohtani back in the leadoff spot. But then again, once the game and the lineup turns over, you don't have someone that's getting on base in front of him. So Marsh is on first, just like Joe Madden had hoped. Lefty on lefty. And while not a lot of success against Gonzales, he did hit one of his longest home runs ever this year in Seattle. Breaking ball. Boy, just a little late. Plenty of carry. This is July 9th. They have the Hit It Here Cafe in right field in Seattle. This cleared that by some.
I still remember the two fans way up there just thinking there's no way. I mean, that baseball was absolutely crushed, and the reaction from everybody. Justin Upton's reaction was the best.
463. Gonzales gets the corner, and the count's 1-2.
Boy, just a ton of room on the left side of the infield now, especially with a 1-2 count for Shohei. Just making contact that way, it's going to result in a hit.
Marsh away from first. And it's out.
Boy, Gonzales can paint the corners. He's not going to wow you with velocity, but his command is excellent.
Two. And it's down low. Full count, 3-2.
Now you're in the same spot for Joe Madden. You send Marsh 3-2 count. Shohei Ohtani, good eye at the plate. There is a strikeout in his game, though.
Marsh not running. Ohtani hooks one. Spinning throw out there, and no chance at first. Ty France makes a nice play, and Ohtani replaces Marsh at first base.
It's a real good play by Ty France, especially coming in on the baseball, expecting something to hit hard, gets in there quickly, and a good throw. With the force out at second, no chance you're going to get a double play turn, but that's a solid play by Ty France getting the lead runner.
And of course, Ohtani's not just chasing strikeouts and home runs and all the other categories that he's near the top or at the top in, but also stolen bases. Goslin. And Phil Goslin, good series so far, has driven in 4, has 3 hits. Mayfield in the cleanup spot behind him.
Gonzales has allowed 7 stolen bases in 10 attempts. He does have 1 pickoff. Ooh, that was his pitch. You always look for at least 1 pitch in a sequence as a hitter. Goslin got that one. He's hoping for another, but that was a good swing of the pitch towards the heart of the plate.
Not a big lead. Ohtani hands on his knees. Goslin pops it up. France to the rail. And runs out of room. I think France was, I don't know if he was chastising or just getting on his teammates who weren't a whole lot of help over there.
You guys let me know where the
rail is?
Really? No, thanks. Pitchers.
Goslin to right field. Bowers. 2 outs.
Here's today's Hyundai key for the game today, going to Motley Crue. Home, sweet home. Last home game of the regular season schedule here for the Angels, and Shohei Ohtani, who has been excellent at home, 6-0 with a 2.02 ERA. Trying to put both of those things together for a victory today.
And a lot to play for here if you're Seattle, and certainly the Angels would love to be spoilers. They'll play these Mariners up in Seattle to finish the regular season. Mayfield fouls it back.
Oh, nice play by a fan. There was a lot of really good plays last night.
Very nice. Good range factor. When you can go row to row and make a play like that. That's excellent fan defensive metrics.
Yes.
Mayfield's knocked in a couple of runs in this series. Angels had 14 runs last night, a 14-1 win. Pop-up. Toro calls for it and makes the catch. Marco Gonzales. Shohei Ohtani, scoreless.
You love to cook, but it's hardly a snap. Well, what if everything you need for a delicious meal was just left at your door? With oven-ready meals from Home Chef, you throw it all in the oven-safe tin and count down to delicious. Don't need that, or whatever that is. Make, plate, garnish, and enjoy. No prep, no mess, just amazing recipes, fresh ingredients, and hot out-of-the-oven happiness. Delicious, meat simple. Get $80 off your first month at homechef.com.
What does shopping for contacts look like at Warby Parker? Well, just imagine your favorite brands, take away the hidden fees, and add free shipping. There you go. Save 15% on your first order of contacts at warbyparker.com. When it comes to contacts, Warby Parker offers dozens of brands, including Scout, our very own comfortable, breathable, and affordable daily lens. Learn more about Scout or save 15% on your first order of contacts at warbyparker.com.
Show us what you got on the mound. How about 10.7 Ks per 9, 13th best in the majors? Get those batting gloves on, because now, how about with the bats? What do you got? 45 home runs, third best in MLB. Salvi Perez, Lighty Girl. How about on the bases, Shohei? What do you got in speed? 24 stolen bases. That is 9th best in the major leagues. Pretty much all-encompassing the talent of this young man, who obviously, when he takes them out, it says a lot anywhere. So let's get right to the deep dive on Shohei. Got a little extra time here. First 12 starts, Rich, this is so telling. 35 walks in 60 innings. Last 10, 9 walks in 63 and a third. There's a point about that I want to make with Joe Madden. And then career at home, unbeaten this season, but 8-1, 2.25 and 18 starts. And going back to the walks, Rich, something that earlier Joe Madden talked about, and he still told me 2 days ago. Yes, the slide step got him back to the arm slots consistent, clean the mechanics hoobie, and certainly cut down the walks by a ton.
Hey, Jose, all those numbers are tangible numbers and incredible numbers. What are the intangibles about Shohei Ohtani where he's improved this year that maybe fans don't see on a daily basis?
Very unpredictable in pitch sequences. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
You saw it today. First pitch, splitter.
That's a good point. Tough to know what's coming. And as you pointed out, Gooby, hitters have had success on his first pitch, although his first pitch is never a sure thing to be straight.
Yeah, you're seeing some splits, sliders, and fastballs.
Shift works nicely there. Toro bangs it hard, and Mayfield makes the play.
And his ground ball percentage has really gone up. His ground ball rate of 46.6%. So he's getting a lot more ground balls. He's getting with his fastball, his cut fastball. We haven't seen much from the cut fastball yet. But throwing sliders first pitch, splitters first pitch, it's important. Not that get over fastball to get ahead of the count, especially with a team like Seattle that relies a lot on the long ball, trying to keep him in the yard here.
Jake Fraley. And Ohtani snaps off strike one. Jared Kelnick on deck. Second inning, Ohtani a pair of strikeouts. To finish the first, struck out Seager, struck out Haniger. He's 0-2 on Fraley.
Back-to-back sliders for a hitter that prides himself on patience and not swinging at something out of the strike zone. Downward tilt on a slider. Does he try to ride a fastball up, or does he go back and throw his splitter? He goes with his cutter on that one. After 2 sliders, he's trying to get, that's a pretty good sequence. Slider, slider, cutter, very similar as far as a break, a late break, but this one's going to be a little harder. A cutter, trying to get him to chase and commit on the pitch, but does not do that.
And he went. That's 3 strikeouts.
Got him on a splitter. Not an easy at bat for Fraley coming in there. Slider, slider, cutter, splitter. Straight down. By the way, that's at 92, 93 mile-an-hour splitter. Last game out, his average velocity on his splitter had gone up about almost 2 miles per hour compared to his average on the season.
And I'm with you. You could really sense in the first inning that he was amped up. And it started when he popped out of the dugout half an hour before the start and started his walk out to left field. There was a ton of fans already that had gathered in the bullpen area, and the chants of MVP started to echo through the Big A. Kelnick getting a chance to play at the big leagues. Fine rookie, and a guy that, if Seinfeld's were to make in 10 years, a reunion show, they might be talking about this guy and how the Mets traded him away. Right?
Will they be out of jail yet?
I mean, I know that they're Yankee specific a lot, but Jerry Seinfeld is a huge Mets fan, and that trade just certainly at this point has the potential to be really lopsided if Kelnick ends up fulfilling all the promise that he has as a minor league hitter and a top prospect. Rengifo on to first in time. Shohei Ohtani, 2 scoreless.
How the Angels got here with all the moves they made. They have
Meet Justin Upton. He's watching MLB Network.
Again, the lineup got deeper.
Because that's what baseball fans do.
They're deep. They're deep.
Hey, Harold, how do you prepare for a big show?
Well, I just try to stay positive. Take it one show at a time and treat it just like any other show.
How do you feel about the other analysts you work with?
It's a great group of guys. We're all on the same page. I'm just happy to be here.
What's your prediction for the season?
We'll see what happens. It all comes down to execution in the studio.
The pro player answers. He's still got it.
The analyst of MLB Tonight, answering baseball's toughest questions on MLB Network.
Season. First 10, 1-5 with a 6 ERA. People questioning, is he really part of the staff going forward? Last 13, forget about it. All-star numbers, 8-0, 2.95. And he's always been good at just placing pitches. 2 outs, men in scoring position, 189. And by the way, Rich, one time traded for a guy that's kind of trending right now.
His name is Tyler O'Neill with the Cards.
That's right. Boy, is he jacked up, right?
Oh, goodness.
I mean,
Canadian.
He's gone off. I think he's hit 31 home runs.
Gold Glover last year.
That's a good point. You never know with trades. We were just talking about Kelnick.
Jared DePoto likes the trades. And those before him, too.
Jared Walsh, Kurt Suzuki, Juan Lagares against Gonzales, and that's a strike.
And he's trying to paint upstairs against Jared Walsh, where he has at times this year chased above the strike zone. On the baseball every time up last night, line drive after line drive.
And Walsh swings and misses and strikes out. That's the first strikeout for Marco Gonzales. He's tough against the lefties, and as Jose pointed out, he's tough against everybody lately. And he's fueled this run as well for Seattle. We talk about Seager and Haniger and their 35 home runs each and how the Mariners have kept in the race. Gonzales, since the All-Star break, has been outstanding. They've won 10 of those 13 starts. Fastball up and in. Suzuki turns away from it.
And a quick look back at Gonzales on that one. He's ready for this game too. Kurt Suzuki, possibly last game here at the Big A. Wants to put up some big numbers today. Where he's at in the future remains to be seen.
Kurt Suzuki, left field and deep. Fraley back. Gone! How about that for a memory?
Kurt goes aloha.
You can always come back home.
Oh, I'd love to see that. His family loves watching Angels baseball. Get a chance to come to the ballpark here now with Kurt wearing that Angel uniform and goes yard. Halos up 1-0 in his 6th of the season. Boy, he turned on that one, inner half. You talk about bringing your hands in.
Lagares takes a strike. Man, if this is the last week of his playing career, and there's a possibility it is, that's a really cool memory to have. And Lagares takes outside. That's the thing about Marco Gonzales. Low walks, high home run numbers.
Yeah, 29th home run. That's a 23rd home run he's allowed to a right-handed batter.
Lagares fouls it back. Almost in range.
Another great play below us, by the way, on the Carroll.
I know.
Fans are ready.
It was coming right back up near you. That's the swing by Suzuki. And Lagares chases 2 strikeouts in the inning for Gonzales, but a 1-0 Angels lead. Rengifo now. And in the 14-1 win last night, Rengifo, his 6th home run, a couple hits, scored a couple runs. It was a big night for just about everybody in the Angels order. Foul ball. Now, I've worked a limited schedule with you here in this ballpark this year. We had one that entered the booth, but it was a carom. That one was headed right to us and just was low.
You got to play for me, Rich?
I do.
All right, perfect.
I do. Knock it down, make a play.
Keep it in front?
Keep it in front. Didn't come far enough. Misses outside. And Rengifo in front of the count at 2-1. David Fletcher's in the 9th spot. He's on deck. And Rengifo yanks that one foul.
You think after a cutter now, we'll probably see a changeup going down and away. See if Rengifo can make some contact on it.
Two balls, two strikes. Gonzales out of Gonzaga University. First round pick of the Cards. High pop. Coming back. That one just in the dugout. Ty France at first base. Barely moved on that.
You know, I was thinking a lot of times we talk about, you know, the blue sky sometime in day games. Today with the way the clouds are, it's a tough see, the baseball blending right in.
And there are some outfielders that are wearing glasses, and oftentimes it's not the real sunglasses. It's more of a lens that lets you see through haze, more yellowish. Seager across the diamond in time. From Wailuku, Hawaii to a national championship at Cal State Fullerton. Kurt Suzuki, 15 years in the big leagues. That's a cool moment.
Weekdays, take a pregame trip around the league. See batting practice, fielding drills, player interviews, and expert analysis.
He gets it there, and then from here he goes, bam!
Get exclusive access only on The Rundown. Weekdays, only on MLB Network.
The ballpark is better when we're all here together. COVID-19 vaccines are safe and effective. Join the team and help us all get back to doing what we love together.
The unpredictable pitch variety and sequence of Shohei Ohtani continues today. I mean, last time it was 50-something splitters, and sliders have been on the menu. Tom Murphy up, third inning. Ohtani has 3 strikeouts. He gave up a single to J.P. Crawford back in the first. Jake Bauers and then Crawford. 8-9-1 in the Seattle order. The game that probably interests Seattle the most in the wild card race is later this afternoon here, nighttime on the East Coast, the Yankees and the Red Sox. End of the bat, and Lagares wanders in and makes the catch.
Another out on a slider. Let's take a look at our StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud. Speaking of pitches thrown for Shohei, 4-seamer about 46% slider, 20% splitter, just about 18% cutter, a 13 curveball, 54% where he throws his pitches, especially his curveball starts at that upper plane, but that splitter is nasty, lower third, a lot of chases. Same thing with his cut fastball, four-seam fastball, very similar plane and rotation. That's why it's so effective getting soft contact.
Bauer's 4 home runs, has driven in 19. Scott Service has been able to get production and contributions all up and down his lineup in this run. Service, who had a really nice 11-year run as a catcher in the big leagues. Won a gold medal with the '88 Olympic team in Seoul. And it feels like they're not over the hump in terms of getting to the postseason, but it feels like they're trending upwards as they're still in the race with a week to go.
Well, he is so good getting back into counts with his secondary pitches. Back-to-back sliders. He fell behind 2-0, 2-1 slider, 2-0 slider. Now a chance to potentially get a swing and miss. He goes back to his splitter because he's shown he can throw his slider for a strike.
Up the middle, and Hifo on the spot.
Boy, Shohei wants to field everything himself. He's kind of upset with himself, but he knows exactly where fielder is behind him. This ball was hit pretty good by Bowers off the bat. A sinker down just by his glove. Exit velocity about 99. When you release the baseball, Shohei's about 50 feet away, so still his reactions were pretty good.
I asked Joe Madden a couple weeks ago that if Shohei Ohtani played a defensive position, number one, where would he play? And number two, how good would he be? And Madden said, well, you know, if I put him in right field and he played 150 games, he'd win a Gold Glove. Athleticism, rocket for an arm, instincts. But he said you could play him at first. And he said, you know what? I'll bet you he could play third because it reminds him of Chris Bryant.
Yeah.
A bigger guy, good feet, good hands.
That's a great point, Rich. And Joe saying that when you look at the build, very similar build.
So, you know, I don't think anybody's ever thought about Ohtani playing third base, but Joe Madden said he could play that spot. He could probably win a Gold Glove there, too.
That always was a premium position for power. Well, we know he has power. .91-mile-an-hour splitter. So far this year, Shohei is off the plate on that one. On 0-2 counts, batters 1 for 51 with 39 strikeouts.
1-2 pitch. Got him! Shohei Ohtani.
Punch out number 150 on the season for Showtime.
A Kurt Suzuki home run has the Angels on top, and Shohei Ohtani is dealing.
Mike Trout. People know he's one of the greatest players this game's ever seen.
Meet Mike Trout.
Can run.
He's watching MLB Network.
He's one of the nicest people you're ever going to meet.
Because that's what baseball fans do.
He's also got tremendous show hair with his hat off.
Miss the games? Quick Pitch has your back with all the plays from today that'll be talked about tomorrow on baseball's fastest hour of highlights and previews. MLB Network's Quick Pitch. Late nights and every morning. Only on MLB Network.
I love the Boys and Girls Clubs because they help you believe that you can make it to the big leagues.
Big leagues of what? Law. Art. Construction. Baseball.
How'd you guess?
For 25 years, Major League Baseball has partnered with the Boys and Girls Clubs of America to help kids make it to the big leagues of anything.
A good time for that sign. It is showtime here in the bottom of the third. Fletcher, Brandon Marsh, and Shohei Ohtani against Marco Gonzales. 1-0. Bottom three. Fletcher pops the first pitch he sees into shallow center. Kelenic is there, and he makes the catch. Time now for our guaranteed rate. Believe in. But Brandon Marsh in a big night last night. 4 runs last night. First Angels rookie to score 4 runs in a game since. Hey, it's a Shohei Ohtani start, so we got to tie it up with a nice little bow.
Yes.
2018, Ohtani in September.
Still amazing, when Shohei was able to get a very good hitter in J.B. Crawford last inning, strikeout number 150 of the season.
Right center. Kelenic should have room. Bauer's there as well, and it's Bauers who makes the catch on the track.
Boy, he hit that one well again. He hits a baseball squared up just in front of the wall. Not quite getting it out, but still another good swing. Back-to-back solid swings for Brandon Marsh. A little bit of a communication breakdown almost resulted in a double.
You dropping Led Zeppelin into this?
I always have to.
All right, here's Ohtani. What did we learn, Ohtani versus Gonzales in the first at bat?
Well, I think they're going to try to sneak something in with a fastball, see if he's ready to jump on it.
He tried to jump on it. 0-1. Ohtani bounced to first. Pitches down low. It's a great column on The Athletic from Jason Stark. He always gives you a year in review with all the wacky, fun numbers around the game. And he had a list in there. The most strikeouts ever in a game for a pitcher who had 45 home runs. There's only 2, right? It's Ruth and it's Ohtani. That's a strike. Ruth didn't have very many seasons as a slugger and a pitcher at the same time. So his best strikeout totals in a game, 3 and 2 in 1930 and 1921.
So he's a pitch to contact guy.
Yes.
Except when he's at the plate, he was a pitch, and I'm going to make some serious contact.
That was Babe Ruth. Of course, Ohtani had a 10 strikeout game his last start and homered. He's sitting on 45 right now.
Got it inside enough on that one. It's throwing him nothing but hard stuff here. Cut fastball and then 4 fastballs.
Two. Ohtani, center field. That's deep, but not deep enough. Kelenic makes the catch. Off the bat. It sure sounded like it. She thought so as well. next year, 2022 season seats. 888-796-HALO. You can join us for every home game in 2022 with a healthy Mike Trout, a healthy Anthony Rendon, Shohei Ohtani. Ohtani back on the mound. Ty France, Kyle Seager, and Mitch Haniger. There's some really good articles across, and Sunday traditionally in baseball is a day where you, whether you still get a Sunday paper or not, or even pop open your device, your iPad, what have you. A lot of great columns in baseball always come out on Sunday, kind of a recap of the week. Jeff Fletcher and Sam Blum, Brett Bollinger, all with the good articles on Mike Trout and his announcement the other day and what it means for 2022. And certainly as much Shohei stuff as you need.
Yes. The biggest thing yesterday in the conversation with Mike Trout was he is healthy. And it's going to be all about getting back into the baseball part of it this winter instead of rehabbing his calf.
France fights that off. Ty France a fly ball out back in the first. Ohtani had 2 strikeouts in the first. Seager and Haniger. A strikeout in the second. Jake Fraley. And got J.P. Crawford looking in the third. So 4 strikeouts, and as Gooby pointed out, he's hit 150 on the strikeout meter this year. Liner, left field, Goslin back, now in, and makes the catch.
2 pretty good swings in the game for Ty France against Shohei Ohtani. Hit the ball well, and a nice play by Lagares in right field towards the corner. And then that baseball was squared up very well. Goslin able to run it down. Right-handed batters usually really struggle against Shohei. This is a 185 batting average. Ty France, as he has done this entire season against the Angels, he's had some pretty good swings.
Now here is Seager. That one pulled foul. So some other cool stuff in that Jason Stark column. Did you know that the Indians have been no-hit 4 times this year?
I did know that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Pitches in the dirt. And it seems like the Cubs are always in these high-scoring games and they lose them. But the thing that he points out is the Cubs 3 times have scored a touchdown this year. That's a 6 or a 7-run inning. And they've jumped out to leads of 7-0, 6-0, 7-0 in those games. They lost all 3 of those games.
Pitching.
Yes. You think? Seager fouls that one at the plate.
And it's a bat. Splitter, slider from Ohtani against Kyle Seager. And he's throwing his splitter at 90 and 93. Is he out in front on this slider? Ooh.
How much speed differential from fastball to splitter is optimal? I know people talk about that when it comes to a changeup and a fastball.
I don't think it's that important as fastball changeup, because a splitter, you're thinking as a hitter, you're reading fastball. And that's why you get a lot of those chases, because especially because Shohei's so good with a fastball that lower third. So you throw the fastball there at 96, 98, and you throw a splitter 90, 92, but it's the same plane, then the bottom drops off, and that's when you get chases like that. And that's what the important thing is for Shohei, to get chases below the strike zone with a splitter. It doesn't matter about the velocity of that pitch.
Strike 3 called. 90 under the hands.
There's a nasty split. Looking 90-mile-an-hour splitter. Shohei. And that's the thing that's so impressive when you watch Shohei. His delivery, almost every time he throws the baseball, Rich, it's the same delivery. Whether he's trying to amp it up to 99 or throw a nasty split, his curveball, his slider, his cutter, everything is the exact same arm slot.
Jose Mota, with that in mind, as a hitter, how do you differentiate between fastball and splitter if the rotation of the ball isn't a whole lot different?
It's not so much the rotation that gets you, it's the arm speed. Because you're thinking fastball the entire time. You see a fastball, split finger fastball starts, say, mid-thigh. You're thinking straight all the way. Before you know it, the arm action is really what has you committing. Especially with a guy with a big fastball, you have to, as we say, in hitting terms, respect the fastball. It's going to make you commit earlier. Before you know it, it's diving out.
Well, that one dove down.
I learned that from Dan Herron, by the way.
What a good guy he is.
Ooh,
Ohtani froze.
Good sequence. 92-mile-an-hour splitter, 98-mile-an-hour four-seam fastball. Now as a hitter, and a very, very good hitter in Mitch Haniger, and a creative pitcher on the mound like Shohei. What is he going to throw me next?
1-2. It's out. Suzuki tried to bring it back.
I like that sequence of the slider there, because I was thinking slider, especially a fastball in the same plane at 98, you're trying to catch up to it.
I like the way he strikes a pose at the end of this. Yeah, that little hop towards the dugout.
That was just a real good take. It's a good at bat, really, for Haniger going.
Haniger is a terrific hitter and a guy that dealt with major injuries for a couple of seasons. Three-two. Got him! Shohei Ohtani. Splitter, fastball, breaking ball. This dude's got it all.
Bottom of the ninth, and here's the pitch. Line drive. It is out of here.
The only pitch that matters is the next one. When it comes to your health, what you do next matters most. If you're experiencing erectile dysfunction, connect with a healthcare professional to see if treatment is right for you through Roman, official partner of Major League Baseball.
Behold the Tree Dasher by Allbirds, the planet's first proper running shoe, made from natural materials like, well, trees. Mile after mile after mile, the Tree Dasher keeps your feet going while reducing your carbon footprint. Break a sweat, not the planet. Allbirds.
Is holding up right now for the Angels. Shohei Ohtani has punched out 6 through 4. Here's Goslin, and that's a strike. Home Depot getting more done. Home runs all time. Angels at home 105. Go back to the 2000 season. That was the record-setting year. Goslin, a little pop-up. France dashing after this one, and he makes the catch. Marco Gonzales has looked sharp, save the one pitch that Kurt Suzuki blasted out of here.
He's got his cutter working today. He is pitching very well east to west. Cutter in and righties, change-ups away. He has started out the lefties away, then fastballs in.
Mayfield stands in. Oakland and Houston playing. Oakland has an early 1-0 lead over Houston, bottom 3. Oakland trying to get back even with the Mariners. Mayfield laces one foul.
That's getting that barrel out quickly on a cutter in. That's what you have to try to do. Start that bat quicker on a cutter in. He's a right-handed batter against Gonzales. 298 on the first pitch with 6 home runs allowed on the first pitch against Gonzales.
Jose pointed out that Marco Gonzales was traded to the Cardinals, or was traded from the Cardinals. Tyler O'Neill went to the Cardinals. Those Cardinals have won 15 straight games and are tied 2-2 with the Cubs right now in the bottom of the 8th inning at Wrigley Field. 15 straight wins for St. Louis. And O'Neill's been part of that with his 31 home runs.
And he's hit some unbelievably long home runs. Six fly ball outs in the game already for Marco Gonzales. Just a 33.8% ground ball rate, so he's going to get strikeouts and fly balls. That's why you see a lot of home runs, but you get the punch out too.
And Mayfield, big swing and a miss. Well, in that start against the Angels, you see that one ran in. He gave up just 3 runs on 7 hits. There were 2 home runs in that game. We told you about Ohtani's solo shot, 463 feet. David Fletcher also homering in that game. And here's Walsh. He had only a 3-pitch at bat. Gonzales struck him out on a pitch right about there.
He's been staying away, and then he'll run a fastball up, and then the cutter upstairs against Walsh. Has done an 0 for 7 in his career for Walsh against Gonzales.
Walsh last night drove in 4 to get to 90 runs driven in on the season. One. And that's outside.
Yeah, from our angle, you could see him slow down his delivery with his curveball. Now it's a little bit different when you're at field level, but he slows down his arm on his curveballs compared to his cutter and his changeup and fastball.
It's hard not to think, if you go back and think about Seattle Mariner history, a stylish lefty with a good cut fastball. Think about Jamie Moyer and all those years that he was able to frustrate and get sluggers out with a cut fastball that rarely got to 90 miles an hour. He was pretty well hit. Kelnick's been busy out there. And he makes the catch. Angels go 1-2-3 in the 4th, on to the 5th, 1-0.
Have new money goals this year? NerdWallet can help make them happen. Like getting auto insurance to match your new 0-mile commute? We have tools for that. Want to refinance your mortgage and put those savings into the college fund? We have tips for that too. Or get a low-interest credit card for your long-awaited honeymoon? We can help you find the one. Credit card, that is. Discover and compare the smartest credit cards, mortgage lenders, and more on NerdWallet. For all your money questions, turn to the nerds.
You spend 1/3 of your life in bed. That's why at Bull & Branch, we hold ourselves to a higher standard. Our bedding is 100% organic, toxin-free, and fair trade certified. It makes a difference you'll feel and offers a better way to live in this world. Start with our best-selling signature sheets made to get softer with every wash. Visit bullandbranch.com.
today, our Land Rover above and beyond.
He's getting some chases with his splitter, his slider, painting his fastball. Tell you what, his balance has been great, and from the get-go, the first pitch he threw of this game, that focus is there.
There are your strikeouts. That's an even spread. This is Abraham Toro, who is the only player in Major League history to homer in every game of a series for both teams. Of course, he was traded to the Houston Astros when Houston was playing Seattle. Up in Seattle, he homered in Game 1, got traded after Game 1, and then homered against Houston in Games 2 and 3. He's been a nice addition for them. He's contributed. Versatile defender. Has 10 home runs. Ohtani misses outside.
Well, between his slider and splitter, he has used both those pitches a ton today.
Two. They'll tap her up the line. Suzuki races, got it, throws it into right. Fletcher there to back it up.
It's a matter of he stayed inside the path going down the line. It looked like he did. And we know that baseball never rolls foul when it's going down the line like that. It's going to stay fair. And that's one of those ones that you're screened as a first baseman.
It's going to go as a base hit, just the second hit for Seattle. And here's Fraley.
What he's doing is
with Toro at first.
Remember how you took that pitch to set her off for the next pitch.
It's a tough batter now for Shohei. Threw some great pitches to him in the first sequence, and he's starting off with a splitter again.
Pitches up and in, and it's 2-0. Just his third career start against the Mariners. I think one thing to remember about Ohtani and his workload this year. This is his 23rd start. He should end up after today about 130 innings. 2-0 pitch is fouled. In the previous 4 years, coming into this season, 2017 through 2020, including Japan and obviously the start of his Angels career, he had made just 17 total starts and pitched just 79 total innings. Remember, he had a devastating ankle injury in 2017 in Japan, and of course Tommy John surgery in 2019, which affected him last year as well.
Does a great job as far as holding the baseball. Mentioned all the little things he does so well. Part of it is negating a team's running game and also fielding his position so well.
And I think part of that is, I don't think there's ever been a great base stealer who's also a starting pitcher. And so Ohtani, who has got 24 stolen bases, knows what it's like on the other end of it. .98, it split the plate, and it was just high.
That's a patient hitter not to go after that, and that's one thing about Fraley. 363 on base percentage. And he'll get on base, he won't chase. Gotta believe he's gonna take a shot at going here.
Toro away from first. Not running. And it stays at 3-2.
It's hard to time and steal against Shohei, holding the baseball like he does, the patience he has.
Six strikeouts in the game. Infield playing Fraley to pull. 3-2.
Seen some sliders. He's seen some splitters already today, a number of them.
Kelenic is on deck.
See Fraley choking up on the bat.
Yes! Got him! 99!
That's ancient. 99.
7 strikeouts.
He got smart. Paints the corner. 99. He's at about 72% slider splitter usage today. Fraley's thinking the same thing. Got a 99-mile-an-hour fastball.
Kelenic now. Toro still at first. Into center field. That's a hit. Charging is Marsh. Toro holds second. And the Mariners have their second hit of the inning. Tom Murphy, the catcher. A fly ball out back in the third. And then you got Jake Bauers, lefty bat, behind him. Kurt Suzuki solo homer, the only run of this ball game. We heard a lot of those MVP chants when he came out to warm up. And a few of them are starting up again. Counts 0-1.
Bring him in, Mark.
Got around a couple sliders in a row. He's thrown a slider and split so much today. Every once in a while you get around it and not on top of the baseball.
So you want more vertical tilt?
Yeah, you get on top of it and you have that downward action instead of sideward action on the slider.
Left center field. Goslin there, and he makes the catch.
Well, that's one of those sounds off the bat, the end of the bat, where as an outfielder you kind of freeze, think, okay, do I got to go back on the baseball or do I got to come in? And then Goslin was able to run it down. See that sound, thinking he's got to go back, and he has to come in on the baseball.
Goslin's still learning the finer points of the outfield. He's a very versatile player, and that'll help him the rest of his major league career. He can play a variety of infield spots. Bauers now. Toro still at second. Kelenic still at first. Ohtani sitting at 78 pitches. He's been at 98 and 99 pretty consistently from the outset when he throws that fastball. And oftentimes, as we've noted, you don't see that till the end of his start when he knows he's coming out and he unloads. High fly ball. Goslin again. Got it. Shohei Ohtani. 5 shutout innings. Will send a message, and sometimes a hitter will send a message, and sometimes it happens in the same at bat.
And look quick back at him in a fastball, and he goes, all right, bring that fastball back in again, and look what happens. And a smile from Suzuki going yard, the only run of the game. And of course, here he is leading off.
Works out nicely. Six homers on the season. And Gonzales gets a break. That pitch was out, and that's strike one. '15-year Major League career. Of course, a world champion with the Nationals, 2019. High pop. Bowers. One out in the bottom of the 5th. To our Angels family, for 60 years, you've welcomed Angels baseball into your lives. Whether a fan from the start, new to the team, thank you for your support this season. I mean, look, I'm new to this, but I've met a lot of people around Orange County who talk about a connection to the Angels that started when they were very young. Some even talking about being at the groundbreaking for the Big A here all those years ago.
Good crowd here even today. A lot of passion. They want to see this team get back to where it was for such a long period of time, where you looked up and they were in the postseason every year, but it's been a while now. Trying to keep everyone healthy and making the right moves to get this team back to the postseason.
Lagares now counts 3-0. And Gonzales gets a strike. Marco Gonzales. He's made just one start against the Angels this year. So neither team has seen a lot of the other starter, which is odd. But of course, 6 games here in the last 8-9 days of the season between these two teams. Lagares is aboard. Here comes Rengifo.
Doesn't happen a whole lot. Gonzales doesn't walk a lot about it. This is his 38th walk of the season. It's around 135 innings pitched. As much as you'd love to see Luis Rengifo turn on a pitch, and he can get a cutter. A lot of room on the right side on a changeup. Just hit that ball on the ground to the right side.
Rengifo's 6th home run was last night. He shortens the bunt and takes in. And we've talked about last night, 14-1. There's a lot to talk about with all the numbers. Haven't mentioned Jonathan Diaz. I mean, how about that? 7 innings, 3 hits, a run.
Joe Maddon was talking about him today. I was talking to him. He says he was so proud of the way he threw the baseball, how many odd swings he had on 89 and 91 mile-an-hour fastballs. Changed speeds exceptionally well. And a big moment for him, his first major league win.
And he earned all of it, even though it was 14-1. That one is hooked foul. Now remember, Barria went the first 2 innings and he left with arm fatigue. But Jonathan Diaz took the baseball and essentially gave Joe Maddon a complete game.
98 pitches. Any starting pitcher will take that in 7 innings. 98.
Look at that
Vern Rule
note on the bottom. 86, Vern Rule.
Good bunt, pushes it right side. France gets him. That's a terrific play by France to cut it off and get the out. Rengifo trying to push it by him. And with 2 outs, the Angels have a runner at first. Here comes Fletcher.
Well, he did everything well, but France, a quick throw. There's Lagares on the force out. Well, he's really turned into a very solid all-around player for Seattle. Really solid player.
Remember, they had a Gold Glover there last year with Evan White, who's been out all season.
Yeah, great fielder.
Fletcher looking for hard contact. He is 0 for 10 in this series. And he popped out shallow center back in the 3rd.
Yeah, he's had a lot of fly balls, shallow fly balls. He hasn't squared up a lot lately, but he's due.
And this is the guy, Gonzales. I mean, you think about that series up in Seattle. One of those home runs from Fletch against Gonzales. 2 career, and he's the only guy he's got multiple home runs against.
And Fletch is not homered now into his 67th game. Today would be game number 67 for Fletch. Home run's not part of his game. We know that. But I'd love to see Fletch just get that
barrel out there and hit a line drive hook one down the left field corner. See if he get over the short wall.
Rengifo at first. Pitches out. Gonzales' pitch count a little lower than Ohtani's. (3-1). And Fletch walks. Turns the lineup over. Now you've got Marsh with 2 on and Ohtani on deck.
Got to take advantage of 2 walks in an inning. Doesn't happen often for Marco Gonzales. Brandon Marsh hit the ball hard twice, a base hit up the middle and a deep fly to the wall in center. Shohei Ohtani waiting to help himself out.
For all the disappointment this year with injuries and right now a record that is 7 games under 500, Brandon Marsh is a real bright spot. And Joe Adell was as well. Unfortunately, Adell probably down for the rest of the season after crashing into the wall. But the more you see Marsh, the more you understand why when he arrived in the big leagues, Joe Maddon, Jeremy Reed, everyone said his game plays up here.
The way he can slow the game down, he's got a good eye at the dish. His power is left center, right center, not necessarily home run power, but doubles power.
slices that one foul. Jose Mota, where do you see Marsh hitting in the order in 2 or 3 years?
I see him maybe as a legit #2 guy. Back control, stays inside the ball, has a good eye, table setter. But he'll dictate it on his own where he projects as a big leaguer, because not very many people in the minor leagues saw him perhaps projecting as a leadoff hitter in the big leagues.
Well, one pitch is foul.
The other thing too, Rich, is the power might develop here at this level. Has happened to a lot of guys. Look at Garrett Anderson and how the power developed here. Became, instead of #2 guy, #6 guy. He was 3 and 4. So only time will tell, but for sure, in terms of athleticism, he's got a chance to be an impactful player in many spots in the lineup.
He's behind the count 0-2. And Hifo at second, Fletcher at first. Got him. Sweeping breaking ball. Angels leave 2, on to the 6th. It's 1-0.
Jim, now that you're an analyst at MLB Network, do you find that your days are easier?
Hey, Jim, here's a research packet for tonight's show. I'll see you on the set in 5.
Maybe a little easier. The Analyst of MLB Tonight on MLB Network.
How the Angels got here with all the moves they made. They have
Meet Justin Upton. He's watching MLB Network.
Again, the lineup got deeper.
Because that's what baseball fans do.
They're deep. They're deep.
The ballpark is better when we're all here together. COVID-19 vaccines are safe and effective. Join the team and help us all get back to doing what we love together.
Has been emotional. A lot of fire. Very demonstrative out on the mound. And who knows, maybe this is the last start of the year. Joe Maddon said, as always, they will check with Ohtani in the next few days after this start to see how he feels. There's a possibility that he ends the season in Seattle next Sunday and makes the start, but we don't know that yet.
It all really depends on what is going on as far as potential playoff spots. And if Joe Maddon said if Seattle's still in that conversation, Shohei may be in there. When you look at the pitch arsenal today for Shohei, coming in there, 46% fastball usage, 21% slider usage, double so far. Same thing, almost double with the splitter. Cut her down a little bit, but a lot more sliders and splitters.
And Jose Mota referenced that a couple innings ago when I asked him about what are the intangibles for Ohtani and pitch mix and the unpredictability of what you're going to get from start to start. Crawford singled in the first, struck out in the third. Boy, it's been a busy day out there for Phil Gosselin. I don't think this would be in line, but it is a quick word from Mike's Hard Lemonade.
It's Mike's Hard Lemonade season. Nobody makes lemonade like Mike's.
Enjoy after the game if you're Phil Gosselin. Working hard out there in left field. Ty France. It's flied out, lined out.
And so far in this game, really, when you think of Mariner hitters, he's really had the best swings. So this is a big at bat for Shohei against him. Hit a ball hard to right, hit the ball on the line to left. For a right-handed batter, fairly comfortable here against Ohtani.
He's the type of hitter, too, where he's tough to shift against. As you pointed out, hard to right, hard to left.
I think right now you got to go hard fastball at the knees away. That was a slider that stayed upstairs. See if he can make that quick adjustment. We know Shohei does that as well as anybody.
7 strikeouts.
Fighting off a tough 90-mile-an-hour splitter.
Oakland continues to lead Houston 1-0. Top 5. 0-2. Well, there's the heat, and it's just outside.
Okay, now you just miss. You hear the oohs and the ahs in the crowd. Now you start a slide on that same plane. See if you get him to chase it. You got to keep it down, not upstairs. He's hit some pretty good baseballs that have been elevated.
1-2. That hit him. Although it sounded like it hit that pad on the arm.
The 10th batter that Shohei has hit this year, and I'm guessing at least 7 of them have been splitters.
So France is aboard, and now you got the big bats coming up. 70 home runs between Seager and Haniger. Infield playing him to pull. Outfield straight up. And it gets by Mayfield. Into left. Holding second is France. Seager has a hit.
Playing in a little bit more. That hop got by Mayfield off the bat. You think, okay, you got a shot maybe because it was hit hard enough to get a double play. Instead, it's first and second now with 1 out.
And you got Haniger, who, although Ohtani has handled him, he's struck him out twice, is a dangerous dude. And he's been especially hard on the Angels in his career. Career OPS against the Angels is over 900. 13 doubles, 15 home runs, 39 driven in. And slugging almost 600 in 55 games. 3 infielders on the left side. 1-0.
Shohei Ohtani has had 8 double plays turned behind him. Haniger has hit into 12.
As we noted at the outset, Ohtani really hasn't faced the Mariners much at all. This is just his 3rd career start. And Haniger has not had any success. He's 1 for 8 with 6 punch-outs against him. 1-1 coming. Caught the corner.
Little backup slider.
See Suzuki set up out, had to adjust in.
France at second, Seager at first. Not great speed out there for Seattle. One, two.
Boy, how do you take that slider? After a slider, you get the inside corner. That's a good take.
He started the hands.
Shohei making sure he keeps France from getting a walking, running lead. Keep him close enough. Don't give him a big secondary lead.
Here comes Mitch, ready?
2-2. That's way out. Splitter that he yanked. Full count. A 1-0 lead for the Angels. Seattle threatening. Ohtani collects himself. Three-two. Got it! Eight strikeouts.
Haniger 3 times in this game. It's the time where Shohei, you can see him rubbing the baseball. He's going to gather his thoughts after a tough at bat. The emotion, the swing and miss. Now gathering himself back. You have a good hitter in Abraham Toro. The dish now.
Toro hit a sharp ground ball to Mayfield in the second. Hit that little topper down the line that turned into an infield hit up the first base side. And the Angels infield plays him to pull. Fletcher is way out in right field. And Ohtani goes to work. Just missed out.
Well, he threw a pretty good splitter. He thought maybe he got the outside corner. You can tell how much Shohei is into this game. Like every game, every at bat. Really into this game on the mound today.
That's a strike. 8 strikeouts, no walks, 4 hits. Ball and a strike. Ooh, that had the corner, and it looked like on the strike box it should have been a strike.
This feel that the defense is going to have to make a good play here. Infielders, you got to keep that ball in the infield. Be ready if you're Phil Gosselin on something away. Hit the left.
Not a big lead at all by France at second. Toro in the air. Marsh is there. Shohei Ohtani, 6 shutout innings.
How the Angels got here with all the moves they made. They have a
Meet Justin Upton. He's watching MLB Network.
Again, the lineup got deeper.
Because that's what baseball fans do.
They're deep.
Hey Al, I'm just wondering, during the demo on MLB Tonight, what was that meatball you threw?
Meatball? I think you're misunderstanding. That was a hitting demonstration, and that's what I was supposed to do.
Oh, he go home, baby. Right. I think that ball's still traveling. Any farther and you need a flight plan for it.
Next question.
The analyst of MLB Tonight, answering baseball's toughest questions. Only on MLB Network.
From the mound to the batter's box, quick transition. Shohei Ohtani will lead it off in the bottom of the 6th. Phil Gosselin, Jack Mayfield will follow. Kurt Suzuki, solo homer in the 2nd against Marco Gonzales. And that's it, folks. Ohtani has thrown 6 shutout innings. Gonzales has been sharp the rest of the way.
I feel he's going to be aggressive first pitch after that exhausting half inning.
A strike and it's 0-1. Kia brings you our player profile. 45, 25, 7 triple club exclusive company. And if you could throw that back up there, we're not talking modern day, right? Gehrig, Fox, DiMaggio, Jim Rice, Ohtani. Cracked into center field. That's a hit.
That's helping yourself out. Kept his hands back. I really firmly believe, Rich, that pitching has helped him out hitting this year because he's able to realize certain pitches. He's able to stay focused and look, what would he be throwing there? And he's able to stay back on this and lines it back up the middle. It's been so impressive to see what he's doing.
Well, it's unprecedented to see what he's doing. I mean, even you go back to Babe Ruth. Ruth wasn't a pitcher hitter for maybe one season. He transitioned from pitcher. Once he started hitting homers, then he became a position player.
By the way, how cool was that? Shohei's like, my bad. I'm sorry I hit you with that pitch, Ty. My bad. It was a splitter, wasn't a fastball.
Yeah, how's the elbow? Well, it hit him in the elbow pad, so all good. Gosselin has flied out, popped out. Ohtani's sitting on 24 stolen bases. Doesn't have a big lead. Quijada is up. And whether he's up to come in as Gosselin strikes out, whether he's up to come in the 7th or not, we'll have to wait and see.
That good changeup. Really good pitch from Gonzales. I think there's a strong possibility you will see Quijada come in with a clean inning. That means no one on base to start the inning. Shohei has battled. He's battled and thrown a lot of pitches this entire season.
Ohtani's thrown 96. Bowers, it's in fair territory, makes the catch. Marco Gonzales, albeit for that one pitch to Suzuki, has matched Ohtani.
And he has pitched incredibly well throughout his whole career against the Angels. 8-1 with 3.62. Keep thinking, if you see Shohei Ohtani try to steal a base, it tells you that maybe they are going to the bullpen. Because your legs have to be somewhat tired, driving to the plate every pitch he has thrown in this game from the first one till that last one to get a fly ball out. They've been stressed.
And you can say all you want about, well, he's a designated hitter. But, I mean, last night, 2 triples, 24 stolen bases. He's not one of those sedentary big sluggers who, you know, rarely gets rolling.
And both those triples were fielded well out in right field. It wasn't like it rolled around for a while. He was flying around the bases.
Walsh pulls a hard ground ball into shallow right. Toro is there, fires to first. Angels are done. Is Ohtani done? We'll find out when we get back. Shohei Ohtani is back on the mound. Quijada has heated up. I mean, he was throwing hard between innings like he was coming in. And either Ohtani's going to keep pitching or Joe Maddon's going to come out and allow this crowd
to send Ohtani out in style.
No walks, 8 punch-outs. Shohei's game here this afternoon.
And Quijada continues to throw hard in the bullpen. Austin Warren hops up as well. Jake Fraley in the box. On to the 7th. And it's 0-1.
Next pitch, number 100. Shohei Ohtani. Last game, 108. 2 starts before that, 117. He had another start in which he threw 105 against San Francisco. So 3 games Shohei this season has thrown 100 or more pitches. This will be number 100 now against Seattle.
Oh, 1. Wow.
That's all over the strike zone.
You saw Suzuki snap his head back twice. And Ohtani wants to know, knowing full well that it didn't miss, hey, where did that miss?
Good.
1-2.
Tight slider.
And that's an adjustment. You pointed out 2 innings ago he was around that slider. One, 2. Got it!
3 times he has struck out Fraley this afternoon. Splitter. He's had a couple of strikeouts on splitters looking.
Kelenic now has bounced out and has singled. At this pitch count, it's doubtful Ohtani goes any further than this inning.
Boy, the command with his slider, his splitter today.
One. Drive to right and deep and gone. And Kelenic has tied the game. Just the 15th home run he's given up.
He went backdoor slider and it stayed elevated. Kelenic has driven the ball very well in the month of September. Ties it up at 1. It's been so good. No room for error today. The one mistake, tie ball game.
Murphy now. Murphy has flied out twice. Bowers to follow. Solo home run for the Angels. Kurt Suzuki. Solo home run for the Mariners. Jared Kelenic. Ground ball. This against the shift. Fletch has got a shot. If he picks it and throws it, and he gets him.
That is an incredible play. How far Fletch has to go, and he's under control and still makes a solid throw. Off the bat, you're thinking, look where he is at, and look where he has to go. And how quickly he got rid of it and gets the out, a huge out. And a stretch again. Jared Walsh, what a play by Fletch.
Bowers now with 2 outs. So Ohtani, 5 hits, a run, no walks, 9 strikeouts. Ohtani's ERA is down to 3.18.
97. 109th pitch of the afternoon for Ohtani.
Well, this is probably it for him. And we've seen it when he gets to this point and he knows that he's done. He'll cut loose and he'll hit triple digits.
What a nasty slider.
One, two. Top of the order, J.P. Crawford on deck. Jared Kelenic has tied the game with a solo homer to right. Another 1-2. He's on. 99. 10 strikeouts.
Have new money goals? NerdWallet can help you find the credit card to make them happen. Want to earn enough points for a weekend of fancy camping? We have options for that. Maybe have a better credit card than your older sister. We have comparison tools for that. Or find a card that lets you donate your cash back to food banks. We have tips for that too. From low rates to the best rewards, easily discover and compare the smartest credit cards. For all your money questions, turn to the nerds.
We run to feel the breeze, the burn, the highs, the lows, and the highs again. That's why Allbirds is focused on natural materials with supernatural abilities, so you can feel something real everywhere you go.
Have new money goals? NerdWallet can help you find
Angels Baseball on Bally Sports is brought to you by Hyundai. Get the Hyundai you've always wanted. It's your journey, own it. See your SoCal Hyundai dealer today. By Jack in the Box, try the new $6.99 cluck sandwich combo only at Jack in the Box. And by your local Southern California Cadillac dealers.
Incredible, the emotions. Shohei Ohtani, how much this game means to him, what he did here this afternoon, trying to will the team to the victory. See if his offense can pick him up. He did his part. 7 incredible innings with 10 punchies. Looking for some run support here. Giving himself a chance to pick up win number 10.
T-Mobile coverage cam. Last home game, fan appreciation night last night, big win. Happy birthday. We love baseball too. One of the things we've noticed in the last few home starts for Ohtani is just the look of sheer astonishment in fans' faces and the amazing looks on the kids that you know have come out here to see Ohtani. Suzuki.
Not happy. That's a couple times Kurt Suzuki's been called a strike on him at the plate that were off the plate. Last at bat, same thing, first pitch. He ended up flying out to right. It was a pitch off the plate called a strike, first pitch.
Suzuki fouls it back. Home run. Back in the second. Juan Lagares, Luis Rengifo also due up. If the Angels can get something going, you could see an Ohtani at bat. He's due up 6th in this inning. And when you see the kids and their astonishment in following a home run or a big strikeout, you wonder if in 40, 50 years they will tell their kids, their grandkids. I was there in 2021 when Shohei Ohtani was the MVP. He was one of the best pitchers in the league and one of the absolute best hitters in the league.
That's something everybody, when they get a chance, is to think, you've been to the ballpark watching them, we were watching them on TV. This is one for the ages, what he is doing right now. One for the ages, what Shohei Ohtani is doing. And you're going to be able to have those conversations saying, wow, we saw this. And this is an incredible, incredible season for Shohei Ohtani.
Suzuki reaches out, pokes it. Crawford. And there's an out in the bottom of the 7th. A quick word from Hyundai.
Hey, it's your journey. Own it.
Marco Gonzales still in there. Lagares in the box. Marco Gonzales has struck out 5, walked 2. A run, the Suzuki homer. And that home run is one of 3 hits he's given up. That one fouled back. Gooby make a play.
Kent French, everybody.
Kent French. Very nice.
Hands of a goalie.
Hey, knock it down and make a play. It counts as a putout in the scorebook. Lagares takes one in, and he's running the count to 3-1.
Got to get on base. Got to find a way to get a run across or 2 here.
Full count 3-2. 6 home runs this season for Lagares. He's aboard. The Angel Stadium team store is open for shopping. Even though the team is done with the regular season, you can still come by the Big A. Visit the Angel Stadium team store Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And there is plenty of Ohtani gear in a variety of forms and fashion. Quijada is up and ready to go. Rengifo now 0 for 2. And Gonzales misses out. Seattle's bullpen is active as well.
First time through against Gonzales, 257. Second time, 228. Third time, 250.
Misevich and Sadler to right, hit pretty well. Bowers got turned around at the track, makes the catch.
He was able to get that ball was hit high enough he could track it going back on it. Big out for Gonzales and Seattle.
Fletcher now, who's popped out and walked.
Interesting thing is watching Fraley. He's taking a few steps back out and left. He usually plays pretty shallow. He's thinking, okay, that cutter in on Fletch, who's had some power success against Gonzales. It's not going to be beat on a double over his head.
And because of that, this is as deep an outfield as I've seen against Fletcher in a long time.
And it plays into his swing.
What you're doing is trying to keep that line moving and give Brandon Marsh a chance, swing the bat, and potentially Shohei Ohtani.
1-1. One and two. Fletcher in the 9 spot. In a 1-1 game, bottom 7. Marsh on deck, and then Ohtani. Little pop-up. France is there and makes the catch. Angels leave a runner to the 8th. 1-1.
This is the planning effect. If you ask Susie about the future, she'll say she's got goals. And since she's got goals, she might need help reaching them. And so she'll get some help from Fidelity. And at Fidelity, someone will help her create a plan for all her goals, which means Susie will be feeling so good about that plan, she can just enjoy right now. That's the planning effect from Fidelity.
Frontier. What pitches Shohei Ohtani had working this afternoon? Slider, nasty, 87 miles an hour. Gets the swing on that one. Splitter dropping down, 93 mile an hour splitter. Shohei Ohtani. And then a 98 mile an hour fastball painted right at the knees, outside corner. What an outstanding effort today by Shohei Ohtani. As far as his strikeouts, 4 with his fastball, 3 splitter, 3 slider, 10 strikeouts. The 10 strikeouts last time out against Oakland. Just a dominant performance. Incredible effort today by Shohei Ohtani. Was really wanted to get a chance to see him swing the bat there too in the 7th. And missed an opportunity to be able to pick up his 10th victory. But you know, you never know with Shohei. Maybe he does get that start last game of the season.
He drops his ERA, Shohei does, to 3.18. And here is Jose Quijada. And so it feels like from this point on, it's a battle of the bullpens. Quijada gets the top of the order. Crawford, France, and Seager. And Quijada misses outside. As well, Ohtani threw 112 pitches. That's 5 off his career high of 117, and that was back on the 3rd of September against Texas. One and one. Crawford jumps on that breaking ball and lines it foul. And now if you're Seattle, you've tied the game. Ohtani's out. You're in this heated race. You're trying to catch anybody in front of you. whether it's Yankees or Red Sox in that wild card spot or Toronto right on the periphery.
Toronto won today too, so they're ahead of them by a game and a half right now.
5-2, they beat Minnesota.
By the way, just to keep you updated, St. Louis did win again.
Oh, so 16 in a row. 11 of the 16 on the road.
Well, they're going to have to start on the road for that one-game wild card.
Wild card standings up to the minute. Boston and New York playing tonight in Boston. Montgomery against Rodriguez, the starting pitchers. Two balls, two strikes. Good battle here. J.P. Crawford, Jose Quijada.
Well, he gives a great at bat every time he gets in that batter's box. He's seen a lot of pitches, starting with a 10-pitch at bat and a base hit to start the game against Shohei Ohtani.
Breaking ball almost hit him. I'm not sure how it didn't hit him. That was that far inside.
He's got around the breaking ball. He tried to turn into that one. Get on base any way possible. This is a team that's trying to survive and get into the postseason with a very good leadoff man up here to start the eighth.
Line into left center field. That's trouble. Into the gap it goes, and Crawford can really run. Digging for second. Gosling comes up with it. It'll hold him to a double. But Seattle has a runner in scoring position with nobody out in the top of the eighth.
The 24th pitch that J.P. Crawford has seen in the game today. 2 for 4. And a lot of his hits in this entire series have been rocketed to left center.
Now the meat of the order for Seattle. Ty France, Kyle Seager, Mitch Haniger. And so Quijada is going to have to bear down to get through this, to keep it at 1-1. That's a strike. Houston has pulled in front of Oakland 3-1. Of course, Oakland swept by the Mariners. Has beaten Houston a couple times to draw themselves back a little closer. Good pitch, 0-2.
Good changeup. Really good changeup.
Off day tomorrow. 3 in Texas. And then 3 in Seattle to end the season.
Got him. Huge strikeout. Get it out. And Crawford unable to advance. Now you got to keep an eye on Crawford, even though he's been caught trying to steal 6 times. He might try to take it into his own hands to get to third base for Seager. You just got to vary your look back to second. It's a big punch out for Quijada.
Ohtani struck Seager out twice. Seager lined a single to left. That one just missed. If you're just arriving with this ball game, Shohei Ohtani was spectacular on the mound. 10 strikeouts, no walks. Just 5 hits in 7 innings. The one blip, the Kelenic solo homer. And it's very similar to his last start. In that game, he went 8 innings, 10 strikeouts, 2 solo homers. Chapman and Gomes. That was in a loss to Oakland. Remember, that game went 10 innings.
Just not a lot of run support this entire season, really, for Shohei Ohtani, but he's pitched exceptionally well. I mean, there was a lot of emotion, a lot of energy put into this effort here today by Shohei. So you're talking back-to-back games, 20 strikeouts, no walks. That's amazing for a guy that earlier in the season had some control issues as far as walks.
3-0 pitch. Seager gets jammed, and he's going to get a hit out of this. A broken bat that died between home plate and third base.
That's not usually the swing you take on a 3-0 count.
No.
And you get that result. It looks like a line drive now. Well, he tied him up. That is right on the handle of the bat.
It's a great pitch. And you're right, on 3-0, you usually you air it out as a hitter. At the corners, 1 out, and Joe Madden goes to the bullpen again.
Mike Trout. People know he's one of the greatest players this game's ever seen.
Meet Mike Trout.
Can run.
He's watching MLB Network.
He's one of the nicest people you're ever going to meet.
Because that's what baseball fans do.
And he's also got tremendous show hair with his hat off.
Jim, now that you're an analyst at MLB Network, do you find that your days are easier?
Hey, Jim, here's a research packet for tonight's show. I'll see you on the set in 5.
Maybe a little easier.
The analyst of MLB Tonight on MLB Network.
Everywhere you go, everything you do, you can always take the game with you.
And you can bring your friends.
Is our production crew, the Valley Sports West's women and men who bring you Angels baseball on a nightly, daily basis. Tip of the cap to all of you.
We have the best in the business. Every last one. Edgar. What's going on, Edgar? What an incredible, incredible crew. Camera, people. Look at that. There we go. Love it. Thank you. Thank you so much.
They make us look much better than we really are.
Yes. I'm telling you, we have the best, Rich. And we've been fortunate enough to be around all these incredible men and women for such a long season. And they've done an amazing job.
Well, we figured since Shohei Ohtani is going to be the MVP of the American League, we could at least give the crew the player of this game. Austin Warren is in. Mitch Haniger is the hitter. Dangerous hitter. High leverage spot for a youngster who has made a big splash this year. at the corners. 1 out. All 3 strikeouts to Shohei Ohtani. Ohtani left after 7. Quijada started the 8th. Soft line drive is going to get into center field, and Seattle has the lead. Haniger drives in his 88th run of the season. Crawford scores easily. Seager stops at second, and it's 2-1 Seattle.
So sinker was in that zone, down and in, where you go inside out, back up the middle for Haniger. 88th RBI.
Here's Toro now. You made the point about run support for Shohei Ohtani this year. 23 starts. A research department, deep and talented as well. 16 of his 23 starts, the Angels scored 3 or fewer runs. And I'll bet you if you did further math, even on those games where it was 3 or fewer runs, he was supporting himself with the bat.
Tell you what, his energy level and the focus he had today, every out, every inning.
Two and 0. Toro is a pesky hitter. Infield hit in the 5th. He's 1 for 3. Seager in your shot at second. Haniger's at first. That's a strike.
Warren with a 50% ground ball rate. See if we get a ground ball and an infielder.
Two-1. In the dirt. Of course, when Joe Madden made this move, bringing in Quijada, there was no room, no spot for a double switch or bring a defender in. So the pitcher spot is due up second in the bottom of the 8th.
Well, we have a 3-man bench as far as position players available. Joe Madden.
Warren gets a strike.
And one of those being Jose Rojas, who's had some big hits this season for his hometown team.
And you got Max Stassi too, and the extra inning rule does allow you to use your catcher earlier than, say, you know, you don't know if it's going to go 15, 16, 17 innings. That used to be the last guy you would use. Sharp ground ball. Walsh backs up, fires, safe. Rengifo did well enough just to keep that ball in the infield. Everybody is safe. They are loaded now.
It's a tough, long throw for somebody who's made so many consistent throws to the bag. And I think part of it was the way Haniger was running in there towards second base. He was still standing before that late slide, so he had to deal with that throw. He had to throw a high one because Haniger didn't go into a slide early. So it forced a higher throw for Walsh. Now you need a double play ball.
That's going to be an error on the throw. And now Warren against Fraley. Like Haniger, Fraley struck out 3 times against Shohei Ohtani. Infield is back for 2.
This is Seattle baseball.
Yes.
Stay close, try to scratch a run or 2 across, and then have trust in your bullpen.
They got a timely home run from Kelenic to tie it. Left center, deep. Marsh at the track, leaps and can't get it. It's off the wall and then off him. Scoring is Seager, Haniger behind him, Toro behind him. And 3 score for Seattle. Jake Fraley, a 3-run double.
So the 2 guys that struck out 3 times apiece against Shohei, RBI single, 3 RBI double. That's why you continue to compete in the game as a position player.
Marsh
just over the glove.
Just missed it. Wow. Joe Madden back on the mound and going back to the bullpen. 5-1 now.
Miss the games? Quick Pitch has your back with all the plays from today that'll be talked about tomorrow on baseball's fastest hour of highlights and previews. MLB Network's Quick Pitch. Late nights and every morning. Only on MLB Network.
Hey, Pedro. Hey, Pedro. What was it like when you won your first Cy Young Award?
Well, I was...
What about when you won the pitching Triple Crown?
Well,
How did you feel when you won a World Series?
I was,
Hey, Pedro.
Man, this guy asked a lot of questions.
Hey, Pedro. Pedro.
He might make a good MLB Network analyst if he lets someone answer a question.
The analyst of MLB Tonight, answering baseball's toughest questions.
Oh, and what's it like to be an 8-time All-Star?
Well, I was...
And what about getting into the Hall of Fame?
Arco. Shohei Ohtani. His greatest hits on this Sunday afternoon. 112 pitches. 10 strikeouts. Just a run on 5 hits. And he would go 7. His ERA down to 3.18. Marco Gonzales matched him, not in strikeouts, but in runs. 7 innings, 5 strikeouts for Gonzales. As we pointed out, Ohtani with back-to-back 10 strikeout starts. But in both of those, a no decision. Seattle has scored 4 times against the Angels bullpen. Jose Quijada started the inning, gave up 2 hits. Austin Warren entered. He gave up 2 hits. Kelnic's home run tied it in the 7th.
It's had a big game, really. 2 hits. Hit the ball well on the single.
Runner goes, big jump, swing and a miss. Suzuki's throw
And safe. And Fraley steals the bag.
He knew he wasn't getting much of a secondary look, and looking back, times it easily. No chance at all for Suzuki to throw him out. The only thing you can hope for is going off the base, and he stayed connected. For Fraley, his 10th stolen base. Somehow he's able to keep his toes on the bag, but he just timed it.
I think the Angels are going to challenge this. Maybe not the end when the toes were on, but the glide over the bag on the slide. So Sam Selman on the mound, and he's obviously hopeful that this goes the Angels' way. That left. Watch and see if he comes off.
I don't think he did. His foot's still there. Toes are still on the bag.
Watch the left leg. When does it hit the bag?
It's amazing how he's able to keep his toes on the base even after that.
It's one of the unintended results of replay. Look, replay's great. It helps umpires get the call right. I would guess that's a call stands. But the runner sliding into a bag and coming off by a few inches was something I don't know that they accounted for. It's become.
Why you see every infielder just keep the tag on the runner all the way through the entire play.
Infield in. Check swing, no swing, says Alan Porter. Kelnick with the count 1-2.
Thought he held up. Yep.
And Selman gets him.
Big strikeout. And speaking of strikeouts, let's take a look at the strikeouts today by Shohei Ohtani. Take a look at our StatCast 3D, powered by Google Cloud. 4 with his four-seamer, 3 with his slider, and 3 with his splitter. Look at the spots throughout the entire game for Shohei Ohtani, where really that entire time only one was almost center cut, the rest on the corners. Up, down, you talk about 4 quadrants of the strike zone. Shohei, impressive with 10 punch outs. Still go back to 20 strikeouts, no walks last 2 games. And it's tough too because there's no decision in both of those games for Shohei, but he was absolutely dominant again today against 2 teams battling for the playoffs, Oakland and Seattle. For all those people right out there to Shohei, sometimes it's depending on who he's facing. Well, there's 2 teams that go potentially to the playoffs that he went out and dominated.
And it's a lousy argument. We know this. People saying that, well, since Shohei tailed off at the plate, then that opens the door for Vladdy. He didn't tail off on the mound.
No.
I mean, he's finished with a flourish.
You can make an argument he's one of the best pitchers in baseball. Right? Max Scherzer's been on fire. And we showed as far as ERA at home, Max Scherzer at 1.90. Shohei Ohtani with his effort today has his ERA at 1.95 at home this year, just behind Max Scherzer.
And of course, in Angels history, you're talking about some great arms and what they've done at home since 1970. And there's Ohtani under 2.
And yeah, by the way, 45 home runs and 24 stolen bases.
Who was the best hitter of those guys outside of Ohtani? I know it's American League, so you didn't see Weave, but I mean, back in the day, Tanana, Nolan Ryan probably could swing it a little. I mean, there's
I'm sure
not much he couldn't do.
Yeah, the baseball was probably scared to not be hit hard by Nolan Ryan. But there's no one in the history of the game has done what Shohei Ohtani has done this season. No one.
Center field. Marsh is there and makes the catch. Seattle puts 4 on the board and leads at 5-1.
How the Angels got here with all the moves they made. They have a
Meet Justin Upton. He's watching MLB Network.
Again, the lineup got deeper.
Because that's what baseball fans do.
They're deep. They're deep.
Carlos, where did your signature term placata come from?
Placata is just an expression my brothers and I used when we were kids. It means good, solid contact, usually resulting in a home run.
The analyst of MLB Tonight, answering baseball's toughest questions.
The ballpark is better when we're all here together. COVID-19 vaccines are safe and effective. Join the team and help us all get back to doing what we love together.
Resort, Casino, and Spa. And by the California Lottery. Play scratchers. A little play can make your day. At the Big A, thrilling to watch Shohei Ohtani on the mound. He was brilliant again, 10 strikeouts, just the run. The Rally Monkey needs to work some magic. Rich Waltz along with Mark Kubaza and Jose Mota. What we're seeing, you may never see again. Yep. We've never seen it in our lifetime. I hope everybody out there enjoys it and cherishes it as much as we do.
The emotion, Rich, for Shohei Ohtani, whether he's in the batter's box, on the bases, but especially on the mound, every big out, fist pumping, excited, getting that big out when he needed to. 10 punch-outs, no walks again today. What an effort by Shohei Ohtani, and did get a base hit also in the game. So 1 for 3. Swinging the bat, but outstanding. 7 innings, just 1 run allowed, no walks, 10 strikeouts.
You know, Gooby, on top of that, too, is consider that we were being asked the same questions 3 or 5 years ago about Mike Trout. Have you ever seen anything like this? How fortunate are we that we are have witnessed, I mean, these tremendous performances from top athletes for the Angels.
And the best thing was
gifted and just good guys, good people, good teammates.
And hearing Mike Trout talk about Shohei Ohtani, how astonished he has been, as basically he's been a fan and a teammate watching him perform. He's really was at a loss for words of what he has seen Shohei do. But Trout, he's still, my opinion, is the best in the game. So you have 2 of the most dynamic players. You got to get guys and get everyone healthy and build around.
And here's this for both of you, because I remember when Ichiro arrived with Seattle in his first year, there were a lot of people that looked at him, looked at his swing and said, it isn't going to work. He's not going to be the same type of player in Japan that he will be in the majors, especially after they watched him in that first spring training. And there were a lot of people when the Angels signed Ohtani, guys, there were doubters about, I don't know. It's a lot of money. I don't think he's going to be the same guy he was in Japan. He's better than he was.
I saw and talked to a lot of people in the game, especially all the way back in 2018. We're watching him in spring training and thinking, well, I don't know if he's going to be the player everyone talks about. I said, well, just watch his bullpen. And Jose, you know this same thing. Watch his bullpens. Watch his batting practice. Don't worry about those numbers in spring training. When the big legs are turned on, he will get it going.
You know, Rich, one of the biggest reference actually was Shohei and even the Japanese media referring to Ichiro Suzuki not having those big numbers in spring training. But as Gooby said, I mean, we were down there in those backfields watching the work, watching the stuff, just assimilating to a lot of new stuff culturally too. And yeah, there's many doubters, but I always kept thinking, if he did it over there, it'll take time to adjust to doing it here, and he has to make some adjustments. But I mean, this is super talent, man, and you never question, especially guys that are driven and work hard to become better, as obviously Ichiro did and Mike Trout did it, and now Shohei.
You know, part of that, guys, is that Japanese players approach spring training differently. They have different routines, and oftentimes it's just working on one thing after another. There's a great story about Ichiro's first spring training. I mean, the first week at spring training, he sprayed foul balls over the third base dugout, barely getting the ball out of the infield. And Lou Piniella, his manager, was worried as Rojas gets the at-bat against Seawald.
You know, a lot of players do that, even great players that have been around MLB. Spring training was all about getting your timing together, especially on the hitting side. So it's truly, you know, again, we're going to go back and reflect on what we've seen this year, Rich and Jose, from Shohei Ohtani. It's hard to really grasp what he has done.
And consider, Rich, the investment was actually minimum. We consider he was not a posted player, but of all teams, he chose the Angels.
And part of that, guys, was the openness to, you can pitch and you can hit. We'll let you do both. That's what got him, that's what kept him in Japan originally. He had thought about signing and going into the major leagues, minor league system here in the United States. But his Japanese team said, hey, if you stick here, we'll let you pitch and we'll let you hit.
Those numbers, I mean, absolutely incredible.
Unbelievable. 156 strikeouts on the mound. On the mound. An ERA at 3.18 this season.
Rojas swings and misses.
And Rich, for technicality purposes, remember, he signed as an international free agent. So it was a signing bonus. He did not have to commit to a long-term deal. So it was, in many, many ways, way different than a lot of the big Japanese names that have come over.
And I think there was a lot more known about Ohtani than there was Ichiro. Ichiro was still somewhat of a mystery because, you know, you hadn't had the World Baseball Classic yet. You really hadn't seen a lot of Japanese players on television over here.
You know, Lou tells the story the best, right? Lou's like, Jose, I call this guy, like, can you show me what you've done in Japan?
Well,
there's so much mystery about the swing, and he thought he was late on everything. Lou Piniella told me directly. He goes, I just call him on one side, like, can we see why we brought you over here, please?
Well, to finish the story, at that point, he called in Ichiro and his interpreter, and he told the interpreter, hey, look, you need to tell this guy he can't play over here unless he can pull the ball once in a while, and really lay it into him. And so later that day in the spring training game, Ichiro hit 3 bombs to right, a couple doubles in the gap, and then a long home run. And as he walked by Lou in the dugout, he looked at him and said, like that? And Lou, first thing Lou said was, hey, he knows English. And it was all good from there. Toro throws to first, and Goslin is out. 5-1 Seattle.
recognizes the player who best represents the game through positive contributions on and off the field. Vote today at MLB.com/Clemente21. Mike Trout is the Angels winner of that award, and now every team's winner will go into that competition. So it's one of the most prestigious awards in all of baseball. A.J. Ramos, former All-Star with the Marlins, made his Angels debut with 2 scoreless innings. Long road back. Labrum surgery for a pitcher is not fun, and sometimes it's not just a one-year thing to come back from. Ramos has taken a while to get back. He said it has taken him this long. Surgery with the Mets back in 2019, this long, to know now where the ball's going when he releases it. That one's going in the air to left field. Goslin, or rather Rojas, going back, and he makes the catch.
Hey, Gooby.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to thank a guy named Rich Walsh for the job he's done.
Richie Rich?
Yes, stepping up. Rich, outstanding job, my friend. Very nice job standing up.
Oh, come on, Jose. Just because
Angels fans.
Just because I brought donuts today.
Did you bring donuts?
I did bring donuts.
They're good for you, right?
I had to. Well, Tim Salmon's not here today. It's Salmon and I were a tag team. We would text and say, "Are you bringing donuts?" And if he wasn't here or it was my turn, I would bring the donuts. So, but look, this is you have a terrific. We showed you the crew that works, the women and men of Bally Sports, but the Angels PR staff also deserves a big high five. Their work.
Matt, Grace, Adam, fantastic help.
They make our job so much easier, Jose. The information we get.
Well, this is pretty much to you from us. You're welcome to the family.
Okay.
By the way, here's a donut for you today, Rich. After hitting 2 triples yesterday, Shohei Ohtani strikes out 10 Mariners today. He's the first player to combine multiple triples in a 10-plus strikeout game in back-to-back team games since Chief Bender back in October of 1905.
Chief Bender. You know, I looked for highlights of Chief Bender and could not find. There's a few artist renderings and maybe a black and white photo, but that's about it. It's amazing. I mean, this, as Ramos just misses down low. All right, now we're going to thank Grace.
She has been outstanding.
I think Matt Birch has got his head in the record books looking at more.
Yeah, a lot of
stuff.
these incredible numbers we get in statistics. Matt Birch is always on his game as far as that. We are very fortunate to have such an incredible family to work with here. Bally Sports, West, and the Angels.
I'll tell you one thing. I've come here as a broadcaster for another team and for a network. The one thing I learned in my 2.5 months is that the people that work at this ballpark, the ushers, the people that work security, all the people around this ballpark are just absolutely terrific. Everybody feels like they're just so happy to be here.
Yeah, and so many of the conversations, so many even today, shaking hands, taking some pictures because a number of them are retiring today last time around. So they've enjoyed every second they've been in the ballpark here at the Big A this season. Outstanding people.
1-1. And it starts when you pull in to this place. There's a lot of ballparks and a lot of arenas in this country where when you pull up and the parking folks will give you the side eye and who are you? Why are you here? You pull up here and they know your name right away.
Yeah, I feel like we're a member of the Cheers.
Right.
We're Cheers. You're Norm.
Ty France, the hitter. And yes, there's another week of Angels baseball, but this is our last telecast from the Big A this year. So a chance to thank everybody in this ballpark, including the fans. Obviously, last year was such a trying year. To have fans back at this ballpark and have fans come back to the game
is really, really cool. And the moments this year, obviously highlighted by Shohei Ohtani, Jared Walsh, early on David Fletcher.
Trout was off to an historic start to his career, already on his way to Cooperstown. What a start he was in the midst of for getting hurt on May 17th.
Crawford's running, and Ramos battling with Ty France. The count is 3-2.
You know what's been fun too, guys, is down here on Moda Island number 3, I think this is. It has been great everywhere. But Joe Madden, Perry, they brought also a looseness to the dugout, and it is palpable. I'll tell you what, I've never seen more interaction between players and fans right before first pitch, and players kind of accepting the responsibility, having fun with it, and pretty much all game long it's what you see, a big brotherhood right to my right.
Jose, Joe Madden addressed that a few days ago. Remember when he said, I want all of that back. I want the celebrities coming here. I want the players interacting with fans. I want all of that back.
He's getting that. He really is getting it. Even guys that maybe were a little closer to their shell are loosening up and saying, you know what, this part of it, enjoy it. Young players, which is great.
And the hope is that next year that it opens up even more for everybody. 5-1 here, Seattle on top in the 9th. Ramos, who did appear with the Rockies briefly, pitched well in Salt Lake City.
Well, his first time out, 2 innings, 6 batters, 6 up, 6 down, 18 pitches, 13 strikes.
Part of the battle for a relief pitcher when you come back from that major surgery is not just the one appearance, but can you back it up? Can you put multiple appearances back to back where you feel right, where you've got that snap in your slider, and in Ramos's case, that great changeup which made him an all-star and made him one of the really good and one of the very best closers in the National League with Miami.
Anytime you're coming back from labor surgery, there's good days, bad days, there's peaks and valleys where you feel good one day, next day you might not feel any discomfort, but you just don't have that zip on your fastball, which sets up a great changeup. There's ups and downs. That's when the mental part comes into play.
Two 2-0 to Seager.
That last at bat he had on a 3-0 pitch got jammed in the slow roller. That was end up being a huge hit, really. Because there was 1 out. Crawford was at second. Ends up going first to third. Ends up being a big inning, and then he scored 4 runs. Boy, Crawford has been incredible this year against the Angels. Every time you look up. Coming in that last at bat, he'd already seen 24 pitches, worked a walk.
And Seager swings over that. Two balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, Crawford, look, sometimes when you have a player that comes up and he's the shortstop of the future, as when he arrived in Philly, that's what they thought, that he was going to be the next Jimmy Rollins. Some teams have to have a little patience. And I think Seattle has been a great place for him. You can see Ramos is frustrated right now.
Especially for Ramos, who's a feel type pitcher. He needs to have the feel for all his pitches, especially his changeup fastball. He doesn't have a feel today. Even though you would think you're at the advantage with him in the sunshine, batter in the shade.
3-2. Rojas is there and he makes the catch. Everybody returns. Ramos gets that out. And now you have Haniger coming up. 5-1 ball game. This was 1-0 Angels when Kurt Suzuki hit a solo homer in the second. Marco Gonzales, the starter for Seattle. Shohei Ohtani was dealing until Jared Kelenic in the seventh also hit a solo homer. Ohtani would finish with 10 strikeouts, give up just that run, 7 innings, 5 hits. Gonzales would go the 7 innings. That's strike one. And Seattle would get to the Angels bullpen for 4 runs in the 8th. Haniger had a key hit. He greeted Austin Warren with a line drive single to center.
Already off and running with Fenway Park faithful trying to will their Red Sox to a win over the Yankees today. It's top of the first. Astros and the A's still tied at 3 in the 8th. A couple runners all know for the Astros. By the way, the Giants won again too. They got 102 wins, 102 and 54.
0-2. Mayfield goes to second, gets the out. That's a scoreless night for A.J. Ramos. 5-1 Seattle.
Mike Trout. People know he's one of the greatest players this game's ever seen.
Meet Mike Trout.
Can run.
He's watching MLB Network.
He's one of the nicest people you're ever going to meet.
Because that's what baseball fans do.
And he's also got tremendous show hair with his hat off.
Hey, Pedro. Hey, Pedro. What was it like when you won your first Cy Young Award?
Well, I was...
What about when you won the pitching Triple Crown?
Well,
How did you feel when you won a World Series?
I was,
Hey, Pedro.
Man, this guy asks a lot of questions.
Hey, Pedro. Pedro.
He might make a good MLB Network analyst if he lets someone answer a question.
The analyst of MLB Tonight, answering baseball's toughest questions.
Oh, and what's it like to be an 8-time All-Star?
Well, I was,
and what about getting into the Hall of Fame?
Mr. Schmaltz, at MLB Network, you've done color commentary, game analysis, and demos. How do you juggle so many roles?
It just comes naturally, I guess.
The analyst of MLB Tonight, answering baseball's toughest questions.
Home game of the regular season, 6 on the road for the Halos, and Shohei Ohtani continue to dominate at home, going 7 innings today. Just 1 run allowed on 5 hits, no walks, 10 strikeouts, and ERA at home this entire season for Shohei, 1.95, 6-0 record. Definitely home sweet home. Shohei Ohtani. Oh, by the way, 26 home runs at home too. There's always that add-on for Shohei Ohtani. You just have to.
It's like the resume that doesn't end.
No.
Just keeps going. Diego Castillo is out of the bullpen. And the stocky right-hander. With Seattle, a 2-1 record, a 2.89 ERA. He was a trading deadline acquisition from the Rays. And in the ninth, down 4, Jack Mayfield leads it off. Jared Walsh, Kurt Suzuki also scheduled.
The Angels have had some pretty good dramatic comebacks in the 9th inning, especially in day games against Seattle through the years. Jack Mayfield getting started here.
Not a lot of hits up on the board for the Angels. Just 3 of them. Of course, 1 was the Suzuki home run. And a strike to Mayfield. 3 in Texas. Matt Vasgersian will join you for that 3-game series, and then 3 in Seattle.
Which could be interesting, you never know.
It really could be.
for a lot of reasons. Number one,
could Shohei be on the bump?
And that's number one. Number two is, will Seattle be in contention? I think those two may be connected.
Yes.
If Seattle's in contention, I think Joe Maddon will be more inclined to, you know, Shohei's going to want to make the start, but Joe Maddon would be more inclined to let him if indeed Seattle was in it until the end.
I agree on that one, Rich. Shohei Ohtani with 133 innings pitched, 156 punch-outs on the mound this year.
Mayfield, little chopper. Toro gets it at first. Up to the second American League wild card standings. I told you Boston and New York playing tonight. Those two square off. That starts in about 15-20 minutes. Oakland, playing for their postseason lives, has come back and has tied Houston. They were down 3-1 in that ball game. Toronto won 5-2. Vladdy didn't do much in that ball game. If you're Seattle and Oakland, or even Toronto, whoever wins tonight between Boston and New York, you want the team that loses to keep losing. For them to just trade wins and losses and then tread water, that makes it harder.
New York's got a pretty tough schedule going into this last week. They're playing, what, the Jays and the Rays. Red Sox a little different as far as their schedule. But for Seattle to be in position to be able to potentially pull off this win today with Shohei Ohtani on the mound for the Angels, that's pretty big for them.
Absolutely. You saw the reaction in their dugout when Kelnick homered off of Ohtani to tie the game. It was like, hey, it's game on. And your point was right on the money. This is how Seattle has done it this year. With that negative run differential, I believe it was -65 coming into the ball game.
Scott Service has done an excellent job putting his team in position when the game is close to be able to find a way, whether it's the bullpen or have runners in motion and hit and run, things like that, to be able to score and scratch some runs across to give that bullpen a chance.
Run differential is not the be-all, end-all, but it's a pretty good indicator of what kind of team you've got. Since the start of the wild card in '94, only 3 teams with a negative run differential have made the postseason. '97 Giants were -9. '05 Padres were -42. That's the biggest. And '07 Diamondbacks were -20. That's it. And Walsh strikes out. And we told you they're at 65. Look at this. Best records percentage-wise in Major League history with this big a differential. 72 Mets, Mariners in '09, Tigers in '05, and were they still Philadelphia in '52? I think so. They didn't get to Kansas City till the '60s. Charlie Finley. Let's see. Suzuki. And maybe it's fitting that Kurt does get the possible last at bat at home.
Really good to see him in his first at bat hit a home run. See if he could do the same here in this at bat.
Bounced out, popped out, and the home run was to left. Not too many people can say they won a national championship as he did at Cal State Fullerton, and a world championship as he did with the Washington Nationals.
In other words, he has been a winner everywhere he's been at.
And not many people, it's an elite company, can say they won the Johnny Bench Award as the best catcher in college baseball.
That's impressive.
Yes. Guys like Posey and Rutschman, great college catchers. Check swing, foul tip, and the ball game is over.
Seattle came from behind, tied it against Ohtani with the Kelnick homer. And then Jake Fraley with that big hit. That 3-run double cracked it open. For everybody here, with our Valley Sports crew, for Jose Mota, for Mark Kubiza, I'm Rich Waltz. Stick around. Angels Live is coming up. 5-1 the final. Seattle wins it.